nigga up too strong. I'm gon' move on.
Swagger on diamonds just Sakasha tryna pick my brain and judge me like a book. I don't got many likes, but I got a lot of looks. My picture on the news, they tryna label me a crook. They say I do too much, I say I'm off the hook. They ask me where I've been, I say I just came from the hood. Smelling loud off this good, the whole day out in Jug. These niggas wanna go to war, man, I wish they would. Oakland like Baghdad in my neck of the woods.
Rest in peace, my nigga Lil E, man.
Out the roots, he let the beats build, bitch, and we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section, cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it G, always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me, no.
Ooh. What's going on, man? We live. I'm just getting some shit together real quick. All right, man. We live from the boxing session, man. What's going down, man? Yes, sir. All right. So, we just freestyling tonight, man. We're going to talk a little bit about this, a little bit about that. Yeah, man, it's a very exciting week. We got Tank fighting Barrios. We got Erickson Lubin versus Rosario. So, I'm feeling good, man. What's going on, OG Sheldon? It ain't going to be too long. I'm finna get you on right quick. Let me see. Let me situate my situation real quick. I can see what this look like. You know what I mean? Not gonna press that. Get this here. Go ahead, OG, join the panel. Yes, sir. What's up, OG? What's happening?
Man, Paul George missed the 2 free throws, man. That shit was ugly.
Hey, listen, I need Deuce to come in this joint today. That's what I need. I need Deuce here today.
Hopefully he show up, bro. I don't know if he gonna come tonight.
Yeah.
Not after that. That was ugly. They had the game too.
I told him. I don't believe in Paul George, man.
That you did, brother. That you did.
I told him I don't believe in Paul George, man. He was bringing Paul. Oh, here you go. Hit that link. Hit the link. Don't act funny. Hit that link. Don't act funny. Hit that link, Deuce. Oh. You know it. Hey, Deuce, you know that. You know that.
Disappointing, Deuce. All you had to do was hit the free throws, baby. That's all he had to do. Game was over.
The brace was too tight. Yeah, them braces too tight. That's what happened. Yeah. So, OG, talk to me.
Yes, sir.
I got Tank. You got Barrios.
Yes.
Hey, what? Matter of fact, before we do that, before we go there, What airline are you?
Delta.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on. I'm be on American Airlines tomorrow. I mean, not tomorrow, but
Okay.
Thursday. I should get
Okay.
there.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna get like 6 a.m. in the morning though.
Oh, I'll still be asleep. Just wake me up. Just call me so I can open the door.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, man. We
So,
gotta get some breakfast. Oh,
hey,
you know
I
we going
just
to
gotta get
the
there for the
have your
weigh-in.
little outfit ready. We going to the weigh-in.
Listen, I'm gonna be sweat suited up, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh,
Cause all three of us gonna be putting in some work at the weigh-in. You, me, and motherfucking Mark.
oh, for sure.
Trying to secure something. Trying to
Sure.
secure some kind of interview with somebody.
Hey, listen. If I get, I told my wife every time I get to it, every time I hit 500 subscribers, I'm buying something for myself.
There you go.
So
Smart man.
so if I can hit if I can hit this 500 by this weekend, I'm gonna go ahead and give me a nice little ring before I come on out there. You know what I'm saying? You
Why is
did.
Deuce hating like this? What's up with Deuce, man? Why is he hating in the comments like this, man?
Oh
Ain't
no,
nobody said nothing bad about the Clippers. All we
hey,
said was the truth. I don't know if they can pull it off.
he had his listen. It wasn't my braids; it was his braids. He braided his hair too tight, and it got to him at the end of the game. That was him. He did that. I didn't do that. Hey, so what's your main goal for the weigh-in?
I just want to see how they look. See what the energy's like. See the people. Peopleizations out there, as my man Blue Blood would say, the peopleizations. See how it's looking, how it's feeling. You get the atmosphere, see how it's gonna look. We got to be careful out there too. It's kind of going down in Atlanta right now.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that. If you mind your own business, you out the way.
You're
Then
gonna
you
be
out.
all right. You're gonna be all right. Exactly.
So I had one of my homegirls. She just moved back to Atlanta, and she tells me that she told me that the chick ain't that good. It looked like this dude. Basically, let me tell you something about Deuce. The one thing I love about Deuce is he gonna face the music. You know what
Yeah,
I
he don't
mean?
run from the smoke.
That's something. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna talk about the for tonight. I'm gonna let you do your thing. You've done. You're a solid guy because you come here. We're gonna talk some shit, and you still come to face the music. Deuce, shout out to you, big dog. What's that?
Man, I don't get what y'all niggas seem rejoice the happy Paul missed the free throw. Like, nigga, you from the Bay and ain't you from LA, Sheltermore?
Homie, I'm rooting for the Clippers. I'm sitting here watching the game like, come
This
on,
nigga got
man.
a big ass
Sink these
smile on his
two.
face.
You up, you sink these two. We up by 3. All you gotta do is defend the 3. And what does this nigga do? Been killing them
Man,
all night. Goes to the line
that's
and blows
you.
2
What
free
about
throws.
what about the last 4 shots he made and all that? Come on, homie. He missed the
Does
free
it
throw.
matter now? Deuce, this is
What?
what I'm saying. Does it matter now?
It does matter, man. The
No, it
nigga missed
doesn't
2
because
shots,
you
man.
lost. Because you
Nigga,
lost.
the nigga missed 2 free throws, man. It wasn't game
And that's what
7.
cost us the game because they beat us by 1. That's what cost us
Deuce,
the game.
I guess Doc Rivers was the reason why he missed his free throws.
Well, Doc Rivers at home, man. He's still playing. So what that tell you?
Y'all
Doc
finna be
Rivers,
home.
Doc Rivers team did the same thing we did last year. Lost 3 games with with double digit leads, 3 straight games. So I don't want to hear that shit. Y'all niggas seem like y'all rejoicing about our niggas losing.
No, we're trying to tell you to look at the reality of the
am.
situation. The reality of the situation is he had to sink 2 free throws to win the game. And he blew them. And he missed them badly because the pressure was too much.
Well, you didn't see the
G
nigga. He
Brown.
got thrown on his shoulder 2 minutes before that. So his shoulder was a little off. He missed 5 free throws tonight. He'll be back. It wasn't game 7. It's still
What
more
does
time
that
to play.
matter, Deuce?
It does matter,
Deuce.
man. Shit. He hurt his shoulder. He missed 5 or 7 free throws. You didn't see that shit? Nah, you look at the highlights. You probably didn't watch the damn game.
I watched the whole game. I was excited too.
I know.
What
Hey,
a
Get the hate out your
Listen.
blood, homie.
Oh man, I gotta hate.
Why? You a Warriors fan?
No, Laker fan, baby. Through and through.
I don't know where all this new Clipper hate came from for Lakers. Lakers and Clippers never had beef. Never had beef.
I've always hated the Clippers. You want to know what it was?
Bullshit. That's bullshit. Nobody never even cared about the Clippers. That's bullshit.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you when it happened. Can I tell you when it happened?
Go ahead.
It happened with Chris Paul. I hate Chris Paul. Well, I don't. I got love for him this year because of what he's done. But I hate Chris Paul. Right?
Just like another social media fan, flip flop by the day. It's all good, man. We still here holding it down.
No. I mean, like now, like I feel bad for the guy now. You know what I'm saying? Like he always gets hurt or something happens to him, and that just feel bad for the guy. But I don't really like Chris Paul like that. Even when he was gonna become a Laker, I was happy. I really don't like the guy. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I don't know when all these niggas start hating on the Clippers. Nobody care about the Clippers.
Dudes, this is what I was saying before my internet went out. What does that matter if you score 103 and another team scores 104? It doesn't matter what you did.
Bro,
you lost.
It's giving
I need them to win. I need them to win. I don't need lose. I don't need losses. I need them to hit the free throws they're supposed to. 7. That's why they get paid. We got to see. We got to see because it's not looking that way right now.
It wasn't game 7. Right now. We still got more pounds of smoke. You know what I mean?
They got one game to win, Deuce. Forget all that game 7 shit you talking about. They got to win game 3. That's it. Game 3.
In the words of the great philosopher Curtis Jackson, winners win, losers lose. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all niggas rejoicing. Y'all niggas
they
rejoicing.
Gotta win. Right. Dude, stop focusing on game 4, 5, 6, and 7. They gotta win game 3. They gotta win game 3, bro. That's it. That should be their only focus. Winning game 3.
Bro, you think this is news? Or you think you breaking the internet by saying that shit? We know that shit. We know that shit. We took a lot of good. We will. It's Thursday. It can't happen
I'll
till
be
Thursday.
Watching. I will be right. No, I won't. No, I won't. I'll be in the air. I'll be in the air.
You'll be watching highlights like you usually do.
No. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna hit you. No, listen. I'm gonna hit you when I get to Atlanta. I'm going to the fight, but I will hit you when I get to Atlanta. You'll be on the boxing section. I'll hit you.
Yeah. I'll be there.
I get there like 1 in the morning. Yeah, I get there like 1 in the morning, bro.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, like 1 in the morning.
Come to the news of us winning.
Shit, I don't know. Hey, let me ask you something, dude. They won't show that shit on the plane, huh? They show movies and shit, right?
I don't know. They got Wi-Fi on the plane.
Oh, I can watch it on my ESPN app. I can watch it on my app. You're right.
All you gotta do is get Wi-Fi. You good?
Yeah, I can do that. I can watch it on the plane. I can watch it on my way to Atlanta. Cool.
I don't see none of y'all talking about how Project Pat shut down Devin Booker ass. Project Pat shut his ass down.
I seen that nice headbutt. I seen that nice headbutt. That was cool.
What?
And they kept that motherfucker. And they kept him in the game.
They didn't throw him out. I was happy. I thought they were gonna try to throw my nigga out.
So the headbutt was intentional. Y'all niggas is haters, blood on the
That shit wasn't intentional. That shit wasn't intentional. That's part of basketball. Nigga, what are you talking about?
Y'all making it say like it's intentional.
That's part of basketball. What are you talking about, bro? That's basketball.
Y'all making it seem like intentional.
Nah. I said I like that. That means that nigga was trying. He was fucking playing defense. The nigga was trying.
That nigga Devin Booker had 20 points on 30 shots. Project Pat was all up wearing his ass out.
And that's what you want him to have. That's what you want him to have. You want him to have 30, 40 shots. That's what you want him to
recipe. One thing I can't say that I was not surprised. I was not expecting is how athletic Aiden is. I didn't know he was that athletic.
You ain't been watching the playoffs?
You ain't watching nigga playing college?
That nigga been smashing, man. That nigga's getting good. He's becoming really good.
I just seen Kawhi Leonard dunk on him like 3 months ago. He couldn't get off the ground. I ain't seen that.
Kawhi Leonard dunked on a few people though, brother. You can't say that. You know,
Kawhi Leonard. Let me ask you this, Deuce. Let me ask you this, Deuce. Who hasn't Kawhi Leonard dunked on?
A lot of people Kawhi Leonard hasn't dunked on. He's not known for dunking on niggas.
No, he
dunk on everybody. I seen him dunk on. It ain't nobody. I seen him dunk on Rudy Gobert. I seen him dunk on everybody. So I don't know what that
Leonard, he's known for banging on niggas. He will bang on you, but he's more executioner. He will. but that's not his
Look,
main thing.
I can't hate on Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard's a complete basketball player, bro.
I hate that fucker. And that's
He's complete.
he's
That's what I'm
enough.
saying. Y'all niggas is haters, man. Where all this hate
No,
come
listen,
from?
no, listen, I hated that
I'm a
nigga.
lover. I'm a lover.
He's
Y'all
in San
niggas
Antonio.
haters.
And let me tell you, I'm from Oakland.
This nigga Deuce is crazy.
Listen, I'm from Oakland, and he got that cheap ring. You know what I'm saying? Everybody get on LeBron and all that, but nobody talks about his ring that he didn't even.
Oh,
you know,
no. Don't
What about
start
the
that
first
shit,
one?
nigga. Don't
What about
start
the
that
first
shit,
one?
that dirty ass shit that Turkish motherfucker did to Kawhi. That shit was dirty as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Don't stick your foot out
he
there.
took him out the
Come
first
on, man.
time.
Don't do that.
Was up
Don't do
23
that, Kyle.
game.
That shit was foul, and you know it. You don't
Kawhi
put your foot under a jump shooter. You don't do that.
Kawhi Leonard is the second best player in the league.
You said he what?
He's the second best player in the league.
See, Deuce, here you go.
Who's number one?
Kevin Durant.
Oh yeah, okay. I can't argue with that. I cannot argue with that.
It's not even Kawhi Leonard, the second best player in the league.
Yeah, it's not even
believe
close. KD did his thing the other night too. He tried his best. It just wasn't enough.
It's all right. You can't buy rings, man. You got to earn every dollar.
Yeah, there you go. Smart man.
Wish you killing me,
And
man.
Harden was hurt. Kyrie was out. It wasn't gonna work.
Well, fuck that, man. That nigga had 10 All-Stars on his team. Them niggas could have did something.
Hey, so
he had 10 All-Stars on his team, and 8 of them was hurt.
Just 2 of them. Blake Griffin was still there. DeAndre Jordan was still there. Landry Shamet can play.
They didn't even play DeAndre Jordan. Ain't that crazy? They didn't even play that nigga.
Yeah, Steve Nash. That's his fault. But
they didn't even play that nigga.
Niggas, they be over because niggas be overrated, bro.
Who overrated?
Coaches, bro. These niggas be getting these jobs. They be overrated as hell, bro.
Steve Nash has no coaching experience. I don't even know how he got that job.
He's a point guard. He's been a coach his whole damn life. That's why.
He has no coaching experience.
He's been a coach his whole life. He's a point guard, a Hall of Fame point guard. He's been a coach his whole life.
You know, my thing is, you know, he got lucky. On a lot of
was he a better point? Was he a better point guard than Magic Johnson?
No, sir.
I don't know. Different eras.
He wasn't a better point guard than Magic Johnson, and Magic Johnson was a terrible fucking coach.
Deuce, we did this the other day, Deuce. Please don't do this again.
I'm not saying that Steve Nash is better than Magic Johnson. I'm saying different eras.
I'm saying he's a terrible. I'm saying why I said that was because Magic Johnson tried to coach it. He was terrible at it, just like Steve Nash is terrible at it.
I don't think Steve Nash is a terrible coach.
I don't think he's that good.
Dudes, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna be honest with you, brother. You could go over there and coach the niggas they got on that team.
No, I can't. Somebody coach them. Them niggas don't listen. You think somebody coach?
They don't really need a coach.
You think everybody needs a coach? You think Kyrie listening to the coach? You think James Harden listening, running his plays? Hell no.
Deacon, what's up, Deacon?
But what the fuck is he over there for then? A figurehead? He's just there to be there?
They'll ignore anybody. That's how they play. That's the new game. The NBA coaching is more about motivation.
Okay. Well, they motivated their ass right after playoffs. I know that.
Yeah.
Well, they got hurt. But anyway, we still playing, and we got a game Thursday. We're gonna win that game. We should be up 2-0 right now. But hey, if my auntie was my uncle, if my auntie had nuts, she'd be my uncle. So we
exactly. We ain't playing. We ain't going with that.
Well, I know we still got to line it up.
So
y'all got a game. We got a game. The Clippers got a game on Thursday. They got to win that game.
Yeah. That's the only thing we're worrying about. What's up?
Master P should get a job now since they just hiring niggas without coaching experience.
Who?
Master P should get a job since they hiring niggas without coaching experience.
Oh, Master P.
Bro, all the players, all the ex-point guards are coaches, bro. That's how it goes, man.
That'll make them good, though.
Point guards are coaches.
Santos, what's going on, OG? How you feel, man?
Young Sam, what's up, baby?
And Paul George will return. He got a strong backbone. You niggas is hating. You niggas is laughing because the homie missed a free throw. But nigga,
I'm not laughing. I'm sad. I wanted him to win. I'm tired of Devin Booker. Devin Booker's attitude pisses me off. This nigga think he the next Kobe or something. You ain't even done
No,
nothing yet.
that nigga think he the next Ron Artest.
No, he didn't say that, bro. That was Stephen A. Smith, weird ass. I don't even know what even possessed him to say something like that, bro.
How you gonna put this fool a third year? Was he a second or third year player?
It's like a 6 year, bro. Devin Booker been counting dollars.
He's nowhere. I don't give a fuck if it's a sentence. You can't put Devin Booker and Kobe Bryant in the same sentence, bro.
Why not?
No, but why would you?
You can't. He hasn't done enough.
Why would you put that kind of pressure on that man?
Man, don't nobody give a fuck about what Stephen A. Smith say, bro. But you can compare Kobe to Devin Booker. If you don't see the difference, yes, you can.
You cannot. You cannot.
That's the game, though.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This nigga
he cannot. Look, you can't put Kobe Bryant and Devin Booker in the same sentence, bro.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Kobe mentored that nigga.
He ain't done shit in the league. This is his first time in the playoffs.
Jason Tatum.
He getting there.
Jason Tatum, Kawhi Leonard. I want to say Devin Booker. I want to say De'Aaron Fox are all in the Mamba, and Anthony Davis all in the Mamba mentality. Those are niggas that stand by Kobe. All those niggas got Kobe game. All of them.
Santos, why do we talk to this dude, man? He said, no, ain't none of them dudes in Kobe Bryant's wheelhouse nowhere near. They got miles of work to do.
The Mamba Academy. Them niggas.
It doesn't matter who mentored them. They're not in Kobe's category. They're not nowhere near Kobe. None of those dudes.
Those are players that would stand by Kobe to be the next him. Kobe stands him. This is documented. Like, I'm not making this shit up, bro. Devin Booker is next to Kobe. He got the second highest score after Kobe.
Hey, and they got drafted damn near the same spot.
13, bro. Bro, he wanted to be Kobe. Kobe wanted him to be him. Like, he ordained that nigga, bro. Like, Jordan Clarkson, another one. Those are all niggas that could be like Kobe.
No, that's a Jordan Clarkson, bro. Come on, see. Damn, Deuce, I was on your side, and then you bring Jordan Clarkson to the table, bro. Come on, man.
You don't think JC's a baller? JC ain't a baller?
Who? Jordan Clarkson?
Yeah.
He's decent 6th man of the year. He's decent.
You can't put him in the same breath as Kobe Bryant and Devin Booker, though.
Bro, he's up next. He got that shit, man. Ever since all them niggas that LeBron got rid of is all doing their thing, bro.
He never even got rid of LeBron. He was gone before LeBron even came. What are you talking about?
No, he was in the trade, bro. He was in the trade. He was mixed up in that trade, bro.
All right, man.
We just gonna Google it. We just gonna Google it.
Lonzo, Julius Randle, Ingram.
I think Clarkson was still there when LeBron either was on his
was
way
he there?
Or after LeBron got there. I thought he was.
E, what's up with it, E?
My man Deuce Time said Devin Booker is in the same sentence as Kobe. Santos.
I saw some remnants of that on the internet, but I don't put no value on that, man. It's got a lot of work to do yet.
That's all I said, brother. That's all I said.
Kobe in year 5 and Devin Booker in year 5 look pretty much the same, homie.
Kobe had 3 rings in year 5. That don't look the same to me.
I'm trying to look that up. I'm trying to figure that out.
Kobe had 3 rings in year 5. Am I right, Santos?
97.
I'm assuming it was. I forget what year it was for his first ring.
2000.
And he came in 97.
Yep.
Well, that's
2000 was his first ring. 2000 was his first ring.
98 was the Bulls. 99 was the Spurs. 2000 was the Lakers. Yeah.
Well, that's a shorter trip to the championship then.
And you say Book? You say Book been in the league 6 years already?
Hey, what's up with it, man?
So you think that Booker got a Shaq?
Nobody has a Shaq.
Okay, so like, Kobe was the man, and Kobe helped with them rings, but that shit was about Shaq.
That I cannot deny you. That you are telling the truth. Without Shaq,
Right,
they
so
don't win
it
none of the
was-
rings. You're right.
It wasn't Kobe. It wasn't Kobe driving that bus.
But I tell you this: without Kobe, they don't win them rings either.
Well, he said that about
They needed
without
each
Robert
other.
Horry.
They needed each other.
Without Robert Horry.
They had
yeah.
a squad. Period, though. They had a squad that.
Yeah, Robert
with
Horry
Shaq
and Rick Fox and Derek Fisher, all the
Now,
niggas helped.
now, Cintos, you was
but
around.
You don't
You
win
was
without
around.
Kobe, though.
There you go. That's all I'm saying. You was around. You take Kobe off that team, they're not winning no championship. Sacramento beats them.
Rick, what's
Without
up,
Kobe.
man?
Probably right.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. I agree. They had Weber. They had
C.
Weber and
Webb.
Devot,
Divots, Doug Christie,
Williams.
Jackson. They had some ballers. White chocolate. Yeah.
2 years, bro. 2 years of fighting the Lakers. 2 years. Them niggas wasn't doing all that.
If Kobe wasn't there those 2 years, they would have lost both those years. Believe
Hell
that.
no. Hell no.
Both them series went 7 games, bro.
They both need each other. Shaq and Kobe
They
need
need
each other.
They need each other, bro. You can't just say Kobe was driving that bus. And I'm the biggest Kobe fan as anybody. You just can't say Kobe was running that shit.
That's not what I said, bro. I said they needed each other.
But you trying to say that you trying to compare Booker to Kobe?
No, you trying to compare Booker to Kobe.
No,
I'm saying
I'm talking
Booker's
about
not
the
in his
same spot.
class. That's what I'm saying.
I'm in the same spot. If Booker had a Shaq, he'll look the same too.
I can't argue with you, Deuce Times. You wanna pump up the new school. I can't be mad at you about that, brother. My time is past. You're absolutely right. My time was 20-some years ago. You're right.
Yeah, and none of them niggas can play now. So we talking about Paul George. Paul George will redeem himself.
I love it when you say crazy shit like that.
If y'all want to join the panel, link in the chat.
I'm keeping it real.
He say AI couldn't play now.
Wait, that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about AI.
You said none of them niggas from 20-some years ago could play now. You said AI and T-Mac and all those guys that was 20 years ago. Vince Carter couldn't play now. That's what you just said.
I'm thinking about the guys from the 80s. Time is flying.
Oh, so you said Dr. J couldn't play now?
So you said if they won in their prime, they couldn't play now?
Who?
He said Dr. J and Iceman and George McGinnis and Larry Bird and Michael Jordan couldn't play now. That's what he said.
Larry Bird definitely couldn't play now. But Michael Jordan, yeah.
You said Larry Bird could not play now?
That's what he said.
Man, you won't find an NBA player now or later to say that.
You crazy, man. They say that shit all the time about Larry Bird.
I ain't never heard no NBA player say that. I ain't never heard nobody say that.
Hold the fuck up. Because I was talking to my dog Tay Jones. Shout out to my dog Tay Jones. Did you say something? What did you say about Larry Bird?
He said
Larry
he couldn't play now.
If Larry Bird was in his prime, he wouldn't be able to play the game now. He wouldn't be able to keep up with the guys now.
Only reason they hype up Larry Bird is they hype up Eminem because they're white.
Larry Bird was a straight killer, dude. He was a straight killer. Every brother in the league before, and now gives him props, man.
Larry Bird had a jump shot.
Larry Bird had what?
Larry Bird had a
Let me tell you a story this time.
Hold on.
Let me tell you a story this time. Hold on. Let me tell him a story. See,
this is a boxing channel. This is exactly why it's a boxing channel. Let's get off this. Come on, man. We got to stop this. Let's get off basketball, bro. See, dudes, I tried to give you some love and some
fuck all that. You need to talk about some bullshit. Because when Isaiah Thomas and Dennis
y'all niggas hear this nigga. Y'all niggas in the chat hear this crazy nigga up here, man, with this bullshit.
First he said Zach Randolph was better than Moses Malone. Now this shit. I mean, you over 2.
When does it stop?
Listen, man. You like Paul George at the free throw line at the end of the game tonight. You 0-2. You know what I mean?
Wait. Hold on, Kyle. Here's the one that'll get him. Jokic just won the MVP, and you gonna say Larry Bird can play in this time and age? Get the fuck out of here, man! Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!
He won that shit by default. Are you kidding me?
All right, let me ask you something.
Fourth place, fifth place.
Let me ask you something, dudes. Let me ask you something. What about my man who used to play for Dallas? Dirk, what's his name? The tall white
Dirk
dude.
Nowitzki.
Dirk Nowitzki. Would he have been okay this nowadays?
He was okay nowadays.
Well, you know what? He was part of what Larry Bird was. Larry was even better than him, and they had the same type of game.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm telling you what's real, bro. I'm telling you what's real. Go
so
check your
why
videos,
are you guys ignoring the fact that Isaiah Thomas, the top 5 point guard in the whole world ever, and Dennis Rodman, top defensive player ever in the whole world, said Larry Bird wouldn't be all that if he was a black man? You guys are ignoring
he
that
wouldn't.
shit.
They were talking about his popularity. They weren't talking about his ability to play the game.
They were salty.
They were talking about his
because
popularity.
he had just put their motherfucking ass out the playoffs 3 years in a row. That's why. That's why they said that.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman and Isaiah both played for the Pistons, and they got beat by Boston. They had to beat Boston in order before they won their own title.
Deuce,
they said that before they won their own title.
What is this about? Well, what are you trying to prove, Deuce? Are you trying to prove that you don't know shit about basketball? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yes, that's it. You got it, Kyle. You hit on the head.
I mean, he's got to listen, man. You're gonna be saying every sport but boxing. This is a boxing channel, but I gotta tell you, I did this before I ever talked about this. You know what I mean? I need you to understand when it comes to basketball, dude.
So what is like Larry Bird a unicorn or something? Only one white player in 100 years can do something. Give me a fucking break, bro.
Yeah,
he was one of the coldest white guys ever graced the basketball court, bro.
Jason Williams won the coldest. Jerry West is way better than fucking.
You looking at finesse.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at the game.
Numbers don't lie. Go back and look at the statistics. Go back and look at the stats. Last time we looked at the stats, you got gas face. So you want to look at the stats? We can go look at the stats, and you'll get gas face again tonight.
No, I won't.
Okay. I'm going to get the
stats. You said it best, Kyle. Dude just come on the channels to let us know he don't know shit about basketball.
Yeah, that's all we can say. Google.
Y'all niggas, that's all y'all niggas know about is Google. Numbers don't tell the story all the time, homie.
Oh, come on, bro. He did it year after year, bro. Come on,
you gotta stop this shit. The man walked into the locker room. He said, "Which one of you motherfuckers is coming in second?"
At a 3-point contest. At a 3-point shooting contest.
That's how cold it
was. Shooting. What the fuck are you talking about? Shooting. Did he say that to the Magic Johnson? No.
Let me tell you a story.
You do know he beat Magic Johnson in the finals before, right? You do
Magic
know that.
beat him more than him. Magic beat him more than he beat him.
Yeah, he might have something on that one.
Yeah, he does.
He lost Magic in college and in the pros.
He's 2-1.
But tell him a story.
You know,
Michael
the
Jordan,
first person to give Larry Bird all his props is Magic Johnson.
Michael Jordan.
Because they had to. That's corporate media shit, man. Let's play. Let's get along.
Let me tell you a story, bro.
So much respect there that they're the closest of friends now. So much respect is there.
Man, you think them niggas talk on the phone? Give me a fucking break, homie.
Santos. Let me tell a story. Listen, man. Michael Jordan's first game in the league. They played the Boston Celtics. First game in the league. He said he got on the court. First thing Bird said to him. The first thing Bird said to him was, "Oh, you the hot new rookie supposed to be the man, huh?" He said, "Okay, son, I'm gonna teach you a lesson tonight."
Yeah, me and my five Hall of Famers. We're gonna teach you a lesson.
He said, Bird, he had to guard Bird. This is what he said now. This out of his mouth. He said he was guarding Larry Bird. He said Larry Bird put up 48 on his ass. First night. So every time he hit a shot, you tell him where he go shoot it from. Shoot from right here now. Come on out here. Hit the shot, slap him on the ass and say, "Come on, young blood. You got to play defense on the other end too. Come on down here."
Hey, Bird was like an Ali on the basketball court. He gonna tell you what he gonna do to you and shoot it in your face and everything he told you gonna do what he did.
I got 5 other Hall of Famers with me setting screens and doing all this shit, roughing you up. But yeah, I'm gonna talk my shit. Give me a fucking break, man. Larry Bird will get cooked today.
He talked cold to every player he faced.
Larry Bird was the biggest shit talker in the league, and every player in his era says that.
Everybody tell you that. Exactly.
He's the biggest shit talker in the league.
We're not saying what we think. We're saying what the NBA said about him. Not the NBA office, but the NBA
if you guys know
players.
anything about the media, and propagation and all that shit, you would know.
Brother,
All
you
that
wasn't
shit
even
affected-
born yet. We was watching this shit. You weren't even here yet.
I know. I know.
No, you
I'll be on the
don't.
court.
No, you
bro.
don't.
I watched
You
Larry
think you
Bird
know.
play.
You don't.
I watched Larry Bird
You
play.
think you know, but you don't.
Yeah, I do know. I know motherfuckers running around screens and shooting. I know that.
Hey, you sounding real bad right now, dude. Hey,
No, I'm
dude.
not.
Hey, you my dude,
No,
but
I'm
you
not.
sounding real bad, man.
No, I'm
You
not.
sounding real bad. Hey,
They
I'm
do
gonna
the
tell you what.
same
I'm gonna
shit
tell you
with
what happened to
Eminem.
me.
They do
Tell you what
the
happened to me in the
same shit with
penitentiary.
Eminem. They do the
Tell you
same
what
shit
happened to
with
me in the
Eminem.
penitentiary. When I first got in the joint, you know, I was a young cat, man. I was talking stuff, and I thought I knew what I was talking about some cars and stuff, man. I said a whole lot of wrong stuff, putting the Corvette down. Man, them dudes showed me all kind of information about the vet that let me know that I didn't know what I was talking about. And this cat out of Memphis said, hey, Slim, you're looking bad right now, Slim. You're looking bad. You're looking bad right now, Slim. You
we're
don't
not
know nothing
talking
about no vet, Slim.
Well, we ain't talking about cars. We talking about all things subjective.
I know it. It's the same scenario, though. You're looking bad right now, dude. You're looking bad.
It's
You're looking
subjective,
bad right
brother.
now, dude. You're looking bad,
Beauty's
bro.
in the eye of the beholder, and I don't see none of that shit.
Ain't no beauty in the eye of the beholder on these statistics.
I've had it.
The history is
No, I've had it. I've had it. We go just Google. We just gonna Google. We just gonna Google.
Google what? What are you googling?
Look. Hey, see, only time you don't want Google is when you know your information ain't correct.
I want to know, what are we googling? What are we googling?
Statistics.
We just gonna Google. We just gonna Google. We just gonna Google the man.
Google what?
Google
the Birdman.
What are you googling?
The Birdman.
Man.
I don't need to see. What do we need to see? What are we looking at? Larry Bird, Hall of Famer. Are you breaking news?
Okay. Shit. Now listen. We talked a lot of shit about Moses Malone, right? But let's do this real quick, man. I just need you to understand what's going on out here in these streets.
Larry Bird, the same thing as Eminem. They pop him up because he's white. That's the only reason.
Hey, and every rapper gives Eminem a lot of props.
Because they have to.
None of them
hold
go
on.
head to head.
Hold on.
Go head to head with
Hold
Eminem.
on.
Nobody.
They have to.
Do y'all see this? Santos, I know, OG, I know you
Make
got.
it bigger. Make it bigger. Make it bigger. Make it bigger.
They have to.
Yeah.
You see it now?
Excuse me.
That's as big as I can make it, fellas.
1984 to 86, 3 straight MVPs. And now Michael Jordan scoring 37 points a game, and Larry Bird's the MVP in 1985. Man, I don't want to see that.
You know what?
Shit.
Michael Jordan would have no problem right now telling you that
Yes,
Bird was a man at that time. No,
yes,
he wouldn't.
He would.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes,
Michael real baller,
yes, he
and he know who laid the baby.
That's why he put 63 points on his ass and was crossing his ass over.
He put 63 on him because that was his biggest competitor in the East at that time. That's why.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
It's like going to the jump, take the biggest dude out.
Hey,
look.
Let's read this real quick.
63 on it, right? But who lost the game? Who lost the game? This time, he put 63 on it, but who lost?
They did because of the Bulls lost because of the fucking 6 Hall of Famers they had on their team. I don't want to hear that shit about Larry Bird.
Nobody says anything about Jordan having hella Hall of Famers on one team neither, huh?
He didn't. He had one. And Scottie Pippen wasn't even a Hall of Famer.
Get the fuck. He didn't have Dennis Rodman. Horace Grant in the Hall of Fame.
Horace Grant ain't in the Hall of Fame. Is he?
Is he not a borderline Hall of Famer?
If is or isn't?
Is he a borderline Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
He got the first 3. He might go. He got the first 3 championships with the Bulls.
I mean, he should go. He has some great numbers.
He got one with the Lakers too. Got a championship with the Lakers, man. Like shit, he was a good player. This nigga Larry Bird.
He's just solidified. He got 4 rings. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
Let's just read these numbers, man.
He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Hold on.
20 years. Man, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Listen, bro. How's this bullshit? This shit happened. These ain't even numbers.
These
are
got the Rookie of the Year over Magic Johnson. Is that for real? He got the Rookie of the Year over Magic Johnson. Give me a
Yeah,
fucking
he
break,
That-
man.
That's possible.
That's what I'm
He was-
saying,
hey,
bro. It's all propagated, man. It's all
Who
propaganda.
did
Let me
who
just
did
read
more?
this shit off.
Who did more
Let
for
me-
their individual team as a rookie?
Magic.
Him or
Larry
Magic?
Bird went to a team that had
Magic went to a
three
team.
Hall of Famers already.
Magic went to a team that was already squatted up too with Kareem and a few
No,
others.
no, no,
Yeah,
no.
they
How
were.
the fuck they get the
Yeah, they
first
were.
pick of the game? They were squatted up.
Magic was toting Kareem bags, man. He was toting the
Man.
bag. Larry Bird wasn't toting nobody bag. He went up there and took the team over right at first game in Boston.
And they went from 20 wins to 60 wins in the first season.
Magic was a little brother to somebody when he got to LA. Larry
So
Bird
was
never
Larry
went
Bird.
through that.
Larry Bird wasn't
he wasn't nobody's little brother when he went there. He straight up they gave him the medal when he got there.
Man, they gave him that shit because he's white, bro.
Oh
Man,
my God! Come on, bro.
That had nothing to do with it, bro. Hey, we know racism have a lot to do with a lot of stuff, but that
Yeah,
had nothing
a
to do
lot
with
to
it.
do with that shit too.
Your ability to play the game and put the numbers up on the court speaks for
It
itself.
do. It does. If they help you, it does. It does. They help you.
He didn't need it. He didn't need that, bro. He had his game.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you what they can't help you with. 3 NBA championships, 3 final MVPs.
Yes, they can help you. He went to a fucking state ready-made team.
3
You got to win that.
MVPs.
You can't win by your race.
12,
you got to win that by your
12
skill.
NBA All-Star games.
NBA All-Star Game MVP.
9-time NBA first team NBA. All second team NBA. 3-time defensive. Look, man. Hold on. I'm trying. I gotta show this shit down, man. Y'all done. The motherfucker was on it. He was second team.
1986. This nigga Michael Jordan dunking from the free throw line, and Larry Bird to all.
3-time all defensive team.
Give me a break, man. After the
Dudes,
year.
who won the championship? Who won the championship that year?
You don't win championships by yourself, homie.
Who won the
You don't win
championship that year?
championships. You don't win championships by yourself, homie.
Yeah, we know that.
That's what we're trying to tell you. You don't win because your skin color either.
Oh no, that's
you gotta
not.
beat the black. You gotta beat the black team, the white team, and the Asian team.
Let's not get your more.
He got a championship. Well, he wasn't even the MVP of the team.
Okay.
Cornbread Maxwell won MVP one year. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah.
He was helped.
Hey, is the barbershop
You just
still
biased, Deuce. You just biased.
I'm not biased.
Yeah, you're very biased.
I don't let the media tell me what's going on.
How do you talk about the media when we watch this shit live? What are you talking about?
Y'all don't sound like it. You niggas, you in LA, you ain't barely got any fucking Celtics games. The fuck are you talking about?
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret.
We got all NBA games, brother.
Guess what?
No, we didn't.
Hey, hold on. Let me tell you
We
something.
did.
Go take them back. Let me take them back during our time, show. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna bring you in on a little secret.
Get him a DeLorean.
Back in the day when me and Sheldon was younger and we were watching them cats play the ball game. Guess what? We couldn't stand Larry Bird either, but we had to give him props. Let him know that it had to be. I mean, the man proved himself.
Because you were programmed to think that shit. That's why the media pumped that shit in your fucking head.
No, they didn't. We couldn't stand. We couldn't stand Larry Bird.
Okay, listen.
Hold
on, brother. Write this down. I need y'all to hear this out. Points, 18 points a game, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Those are good numbers for a rookie. All right. Now let's look up Larry Bird's numbers.
And leading your team to the NBA championship. And starting center and playing all 5 positions. Yeah. I mean, Larry Bird deserved it over Magic Johnson.
Hey,
it ain't
that's when Kareem went down.
Yeah, Larry Bird deserved it over Magic Johnson.
But they didn't. That wasn't his rookie season either.
That was his rookie season when he won a championship.
Yeah, that was his rookie season.
Was it? I thought it was his second season. I thought
that was rookie season.
You took an L. You took an L.
Hey, my boy, please, just Google some shit, okay?
Fuck that, bro.
Just Google some fucking shit.
Fuck that shit, man.
Just Google it.
Did he go to the championship? Did he go to the ring?
I don't give a fuck, bro.
Dr. J and them put him out.
He was to the All-Star game.
I know.
Dude, look at the numbers. Bro, dudes, come on, bro. Look at he averaged a double-double as a fucking rookie. Stop this shit, man.
Hold on. Deuce is doing this for entertainment purposes only.
No,
man.
I'm
We know
not.
what
He got it.
because
He
he's a real. He said he's a real baller, and I believe he's a real baller. So I know he got to know the history of the game. He just doing it for entertainment purposes.
And I
He
know
been
at
hanging
every
out with
point in time
JFL.
was ever Larry Bird better than Magic Johnson. I know
He
the
been-
history again. Larry Bird was
See,
never
we-
better than Magic Johnson.
He been hanging out with JFL.
Nah, I don't know who JFL is. So you guys trying to tell me Larry Bird is better than Magic Johnson? That was
That's
the
what
point
I'm
you
Nobody
said.
said
saying.
no dumb shit like that.
We
I didn't
never
say
said
that
that. We never said
I
that.
didn't
Nobody
say
said
that
no
shit.
dumb shit like that. We said
So what
Larry
you trying
Bird
to say?
is worthy of the praises that he gets because Larry Bird was a hell of
And
a
he can
basketball
still,
player. That's what
and
I'm
if he
saying.
was in his prime today, he'll still kill just like he did years
Yeah,
ago.
He'll
right.
kill all these
Yeah,
bums.
right.
Every bum
So
he
he
named, he kill him.
so he just some kind of unicorn then.
He better
One-
exactly, bro.
One in a
Oh,
Larry
so,
lifetime.
Bird at the end of the day,
He
every
a
bum he
Tiger
named, he
Woods.
smoke.
we gotta remember. We
Nah,
gotta
he was
remember.
decent. He was
Hey,
He a
we
decent.
gotta
Tiger
He
remember.
was decent. He was real. He was a good. Both of them coming out of college. They both went to good teams, and
Magic Johnson
you know,
didn't
of
go to a
course,
good team. His team got the first pick of the draft. It's not a good team. You get the first pick of the draft.
they
Back
both went to
in
good
the
teams.
day, back in
Cause
the
they
day,
both in there
the
playing.
got the best picks back in them days.
Both
brother.
franchises
Yeah,
already
so
made before them guys
Huge,
got
yeah,
there.
those
huge.
teams was already
This-
made, but
No,
I
that's
do
not the
understand
point,
what he's
Huge.
saying.
The Lakers
I do
wasn't
That's not the
made.
point. He
Hmm?
said that Larry Bird couldn't play in the game today.
Oh, that's bullshit. He bugging.
So why aren't they?
I don't care how much he think. I don't care how much he look. See, when you say shit like that, when you start saying stuff like that, that
Man.
makes you when you saying that you
Larry Bird.
are this or that. When you saying that, look, as much as I can't stand motherfucking Lomachenko. As much as I can't stand that motherfucker. And boxing has been my life since I was. And boxing has been my life since I was 11 years old. I can't stand that motherfucker, but he can fight some. I can't fucking deny the facts. I'm saying, as much as I can't stand him and I hate that racist white shit, I can't overlook the facts, man. As much as I hate that, that's just the facts. And I hated fucking Larry Bird. I hated that motherfucker when I was a kid.
We all did.
I hated that motherfucker.
But he
Just
was a
like
killer.
I hated
hate
him.
nobody.
Just like I never thought fucking what's his name was shit. From Dallas Mavericks. I hated that motherfucker. I never thought they was gonna win with him, but I had to give it up to the motherfucker that he is. He was a great player. He was the greatest player, but he was great. You know, I hated. I never thought they were. I won money damn near every fucking year for a good fucking 8-year period when the Dallas was getting to the playoffs, and I told I was winning all the time. I was like, they'll never win with that motherfucker, but they did. So I had to give it up to him. Yeah, he was great. As much as I hate to admit that shit.
Larry was the second coming of Larry Bird, but not quite Larry Bird.
But he's not quite Larry Bird though.
Exactly.
But he wasn't quite no fucking Larry Bird. He was never, and that was always my argument. He was never good. He wasn't even he wasn't no fucking Larry Bird.
His form and style of play was similar to Larry, but he wasn't Larry Bird. He wasn't no killer like
Hell
Larry.
no.
Larry was straight
Hell
killer.
no.
You think
And Larry Bird played against tougher comp. And Larry Bird played against tougher competition too.
Yeah, he did. It was more physical. The game was more physical, and the talent
That was better
deep.
competition, though, fellas.
Dr. J was better competition than anybody Dirk Nowitzki ever played against.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. He was better.
Kobe Bryant.
Better competition. Better competition, man.
Crazy.
Because all of them, because you gotta keep it 100. Who was Dr. J? Michael Jordan was trying to be like who? Dr. J.
No, he wasn't, man. His
yes, he was. He said it. He said it himself. But he said it himself. He said it himself. That's not my opinion. It came out the man's mouth. That's not my opinion.
Who
He said that. He was trying to be like him. He was trying to be like Dr. J.
Hey, man, I'm going to bed, man.
Yeah, we're not going to. Say what now?
That's total box.
Who inducted Michael Jordan Hall of Fame?
Dr. J.
So what that mean? What that mean? That mean? You answer my thing. He got his favorite player to induct him.
It wasn't Dr. J. It was a nigga from played for North Carolina State. Some other nigga. I could tell Kyle Googling.
Oh, he's talking about Skywalker, David Thompson.
David Thompson. David Thompson.
David Thompson. Skywalker.
Michael Jordan said that was his favorite player.
Mike didn't go to North Carolina State, bro. He went to North Carolina.
He went to North Carolina.
Michael Jordan said that was his favorite player in the Hall of Fame speech. You said no motherfucker.
I seen him say. I seen him in an interview say Dr. J.
Google it. Yeah, there you go. Google the gay ass Google.
The Skywalker. The Skywalker was his favorite player.
Hey man, y'all gotta remember we talking about a cat that said that all the players of yesterday couldn't hold a torch to the guys of
we talking about a dude, we talking about a dude that said motherfucking Zebo was better than Moses Malone.
Oh my God.
I took another W on that argument right there. I took another W.
We say that.
I took another W.
We say that.
When you take a W.
We say that. We say that. We need to keep this shit strictly boxing, man. And stop veering off into other shit.
I said this is boxing. They talking about Larry Bird because the fucking media told y'all that Larry Bird can play.
Media ain't tell us nothing.
All right, y'all. That's enough. That's enough of this shit.
How tall was Larry Bird? 6'9"?
It don't matter. All of them tall. All of them tall. A short man in the league is about 6'2".
I'm talking about Larry Bird. How tall is Larry Bird?
About 6'7".
So he's 6'7". So you think Larry Bird guarding Paul George? You think Larry Bird guarding Kevin Durant? You think Larry Bird guarding?
Can they guard him either though?
Yeah. Hell motherfucking yeah. You think Larry Bird guarding?
All right, guys. All right, y'all.
Larry Bird was 6'8".
Hey,
he was.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all.
So you think he playing LeBron James? You can guard
Larry Bird can play in any era against anybody, bro. Prime Larry Bird can play in any era against anybody.
I don't care how great or how lousy they were. Larry plays against any of them, and he plays well against any of them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. It's a whole different athletic game out here right now.
Hey, but you know what? You can't go to no barbershop in the continental United States and win that argument, bro.
Yes, I can. I stand strong my belief.
You can go to Africa. You can go to Africa where you can go to Sudan where they black as they come, and you won't win that.
I don't let nobody tell. I believe what I see.
And that's good.
Well, you
don't have to have nobody tell you what to think or believe. Even if your vision is warped and you need glasses.
I remember when they almost kicked Dennis Rodman out the league for saying that shit.
Who?
Dennis Rodman won his ring. They hadn't won
I remember that. I remember they got it. I remember that incident. But his thing was. But nah, I understood. Look, his thing is. Don't get me wrong. Of course, brothers, we do things so naturally and so easily. And of course, when a white one come along, that's somewhat good. They're going to more hype on him. They're going to do that. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not saying that's not true. But no. It's look. The racism shit is in every sport, man. That's why right now. That's why we have this Lomachenko shit. Like he shouldn't even. This motherfucker got 2 losses, but he shouldn't even be in a certain conversation. But part of the reason he in that conversation is because he got the complexion for the connection. Now, but Larry Bird, he did get hype because he was very good from the group that he came from. But he was good though. You can't front on him. But it's not like, of course, a lot of brothers, we so gifted with everything that's normal to us. When there's somebody white or somebody else that's non-black that do it remotely close to that, of course they're gonna glorify them more. But Larry Bird was a damn great player though, straight up. And he might, and it's a few and far, it's few and far in between because you got Larry Bird, but you can't put a whole bunch of motherfuckers. Because if you use like somebody like Dirk Nowitzki, right? If you use somebody like him, it's a real space in between. But he wasn't Bird. But I'm saying of that generation, like I used to hear people trying to compare.
Maybe with 5 Hall of Famers, he would have been Bird.
I used to hear people trying to compare him to him, and I was not. He not quite him. But look at the space. Look at the years. Look at the years in between. Look at the years in between. You went from Larry Bird to somebody like Dirk Nowitzki.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I got a question for you, dudes. Those players that played with Larry Bird when he was on top, would they have been Hall of Famers if it wasn't for Larry Bird playing with him?
Robert Parrish was there before Larry Bird. Kevin McHale.
Would he have went to the Hall of Fame? Would he have won as many as he won, and would he have went to the Hall of Fame if he hadn't played with Larry Bird?
Bro,
no.
I rest my case.
So Kevin McHale is a Hall of Fame game.
Now,
Kevin McHale
you gotta
would
remember
not
back
be in
during
the
that
Hall of
day,
Fame if it wasn't for
back
Larry
during our
Bird.
It's
day.
for Larry Bird. Larry Bird is the one who took them over the edge. He the one who took them over the top.
Right.
He was the best. He
Look,
was the best of all of them. He was the best of all of them. Without him, they wouldn't have got where they got. Much as I hated that ugly motherfucker, that's the
don't
truth.
forget when Larry Bird, when that stuff was going on with Larry Bird about being the white dude, this, that, and the other. Now they put more emphasis on his play, but his numbers spoke for themselves. But it had a lot to do with
that was the end of them.
No,
bro.
he was great though.
That was the end of them.
Let me finish.
He was great though. He was a great player.
Right. Exactly. He earned everything he got. That's what I'm saying. He earned everything he got.
When they said that shit about Bird, they was mad that they had just got bumped out the playoffs in the 7th game again.
No, that was during the playoffs. And they had
they got beat. And they got beat again by the Boston Celtics because the Celtics went to the finals that year. That's what happened.
Out the league for saying that shit. This is all propaganda, homie.
Hey,
you talking bullshit, homie.
2 years in a row. 2 or 3 years
and
in a row.
They beat them the next year.
And then they won the championship as soon as they beat them.
They didn't beat them.
One of them years when Bird who stole the ball? I think it was Bird who stole the ball. They made Isaiah throw the ball in. But it had a gang of motherfuckers on the court and shit. They made them throw the ball in and shit. That was a fucking conspiracy too. Niggas don't fucking tell me about that shit.
Let's talk boxing.
All right, man. Y'all niggas.
Let's talk boxing. Because you didn't went to the left. Let's talk boxing.
Nah, homie. I'm not the only person that think that shit. Everybody know that shit.
Anyway,
you guys been living in that time to understand, my brother.
I do.
That's
why certain things are documented. That's what I love about the film. Film is documented.
Yeah. Best peers, man. Look, we got a big one coming up this week. We got 2 big ones coming up this week, man.
All right, Clippers in 6. We got this shit.
Clippers in 6. We gonna see. We'll see you Thursday, brother.
I know we smile and laugh at the homies losing. Nigga from LA. That's right. I heard that. Clippers in 6.
Hey, Deuce. Every time the Clippers lose, man, you come in here talking about them, talking that yang about the past players and versus the present players, man. I know. I just realized that. When y'all win, you ain't gonna say nothing about all that.
I did say they asked me. I was on here last night, and nigga said that they was doing an interview with Frank Lucas. I went the night before. We won. We lost.
Yeah, they won.
And we out. I'm here every night, man. We ain't ducking nothing.
I know. No, I ain't saying you don't come in. You gonna stand on you. I'm giving you that credit. I'm saying when you lose, you always put down the players of yesterday versus the players of today is what I'm talking about.
I didn't bring that conversation up. Kyle did.
I
didn't bring that shit. Kyle started
I didn't bring that up.
Kyle started that shit.
Okay, my bad. My bad.
I stand on what I believe in. I don't believe that Larry Bird do all that, but I do believe the Clippers gonna bounce back. We found something for Booker. Now we got to figure out what's gonna happen with DeAndre Ayton. He's a little bit more athletic than we thought, but we're gonna take care of business though. Cause I didn't know Ayton had them boings like that, and he out there screaming.
Like I told you in the beginning, I'm gonna tell you one more time, Deuce. They just need to focus on Thursday. They gotta win Thursday. We
gotta focus on defensive adjustments because Ayton, we need Ibaka right now, and Ibaka ain't coming back. So we gotta figure out a way to keep that guy out the paint. But Project Pat is wearing Devin Booker ass out. So Chris Paul come out there and run the pick and roll on top. We gonna just blitz his ass. See what's going on. Ty Lue showed himself to be the best coach in the NBA, and I believe he gonna have our boys ready on Thursday evening to go out here and make some threes.
Well, we'll see. What you were saying, Shelton?
Okay, we got 2 big ones coming up. Give me your thoughts on the undercard. I call this one the undercard. You got Masahiro Nakatani and Lomachenko.
That's an interesting fight, man. Nakatani is tough, man. You know, he showed some toughness in that last fight against Dale. So, and he was troubling for Tio. You know, he got good size and reach. This is gonna be an interesting fight for Lomachenko, man. I guess if I had to in the crunch go for somebody, I have to probably just go. I'd probably just go for Lomachenko just because, you know, because he is who he is. But if Nakatani was to beat him, I wouldn't be surprised, you know. But I don't really have. See, I'm really not into that fight like that because I don't really have a dog in the fight because I'm not big on either one of them like that. So I really don't care. I really don't care. So that's why I judged it like that because I'm not really, you know, I don't really care much about either one of them, honestly speaking. You know, I just hope it's an entertaining fight for the fans. That's the biggest thing for me. But it could go either way. Like I said, I would, if I have to be forced to pick, I guess I'll go with Lomachenko just because he's him. And but I do think I wouldn't be shocked if Nakatani won the fight. You know, it wouldn't shock me. You know,
I feel basically the same way. I feel basically the same way preachers feel about that.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I lean more toward Lomachenko because of skill. Though I know Nakatani is a tall guy and a dangerous guy, but I just think Loma skill is going to prevail. But I don't have a dog in that fight. Whoever wins. I can care less.
Yeah, be honest with you, that's how I feel.
Dude, you in on this or what?
If Lomo loses, though, that kind of messes up Bob Aaron's plans.
Yeah.
Fuck Bob Aaron. Dude, you in on this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Dude, you in on this, dude? You got the fight Saturday.
Man, I don't even know who's fighting, bro. I watch basketball. I watch a little wrestling. I watch a little boxing, like if it's a big thing, but that boxing should be boring as fuck.
Okay.
Keep it real.
All right. Well,
so the second fight is Tank and what's his name?
Well, you didn't let me get off on the first one yet. Hold on.
Go ahead. Okay.
I say I got Nakatani by stoppage. And I'm gonna tell you.
That's right. Yeah, I heard you say that the other day.
Yeah. Loma, number one, in my opinion, is small for 35.
I agree.
Nakatani knows the same thing that Loma knows. That this is my shot. I beat this guy, I'm in the mix for some big money, big fights. Nakatani, I think, is too big, too long, and too tough. He's going to cut off the ring. He's going to bully Loma, beat Loma up, and stop him, maybe anywhere between 79 rounds.
Hey, there's 2 fights on Saturday night that you are pulling for the big guy.
Interesting.
That's two different fights. Saturday night, you pulling for the big guy. You think the short guy gonna lose on both of them, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna be watching Tank, and we're gonna have that other fight on my phone.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. That's how I'm gonna do it too. I like well, as far as the Tank fight, that's a good fight. That's gonna be a good fight, but that's gonna be a tough fight for Tank, man. That's a tough fight. That kid Barrios, look, Barrios is nice, man. I'm undefeated. He got a good skill set. He big. He a natural because you figure, but they fighting 140. He gonna come in probably close to 150, close to over 150 by the time he come in there. He natural at that weight. He got a good skill set already. And one of the things I really like is his corner. He got a damn good corner. When he go back there, he getting good information, man. You don't understand what I'm saying? And what's the name of the strategist? Because that's one of the things. Virgil Hunter is a strategist. That's one of the things that made Andre Ward excel. And he knew how to motivate him, and he knew that helped him excel. And so that that is one factor. Like if I had the way to fight out the difference, I got to give a slight advantage in that corner to that. And the kid got some good ability too. And he's big, you know. I want to see how Tank. I will say this: I'm rooting for Tank, but I'm not sure if he's gonna win that shit. But I'm rooting for him. I want Tank to win. But this is gonna be, to me, this is gonna be one of his absolute toughest fights. This is gonna be tougher. This could potentially be tougher than the last fight that he had against what's his name, and what's his name was hitting him a lot. He can't get hit like that. If he getting hit like that, he's gonna be in for a long night of work.
I don't think
You understand what I'm
your
saying?
boy Barrios throws as much volume. I don't think he throws as much volume as Cruz did. Cruz is a volume puncher.
So
Barrios don't show me that
yeah,
he's a volume puncher. So, I mean, it's gonna
yeah,
be a
but
great fight, but I think the abilities. It's like this. Barrios can't get hit by Tank.
Mhm.
If he get hit flush by Tank, it's lights out. Tank
well, I
been
don't.
hit a few times, so I trust. I have more trust in Tank's chin versus Barrios. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, I hear you, but see, I don't
one of them,
see. Go ahead, finish.
either one of them probably got enough power to put the other one down. But I think Tank's chin's been a little bit more proven so far than Barrios. I could be totally wrong because, well, you know why I am being wrong, because I hadn't seen as many fights of Barrios as I have Tank. So I better let me retract that statement. But I'm just saying, if Tank touch him right, I don't know, man.
Well, I done seen Barrios a couple of times, and he's done showed a sturdier chin. Actually, he done showed a pretty sturdy chin in the fights I seen him.
Yeah,
you know,
the other fights I seen him too.
Yeah, I done seen him fight a couple of times. He done showed a sturdier chin. So I would be real surprised if Tank just was able to just knock him out. It's going to have to be a shot. See, because Tank is short, and one of his best punches probably is that uppercut as a power shot. That could be a good shot for him on the inside, because you hurt the man normally with the punches you don't see. And that could be the thing. I don't think it's just going to be his speed and his power. It's going to be more working off of his technique and being able to set up a shot that he can't see that could actually hurt him and get him out of there. But if it comes out to a shootout, what I think could happen maybe in Tank's favor is the way Barrios' face is shaped, because he got that Mexican high cheekbone face. He does tend to swell and can cut and swell. That could happen to him. Like, I could see that happen to him and possibly lead to a stoppage. More so than I see. More so than I see Tank knocking him out, like Tank just catching him and putting him down. If he does that, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be highly impressed.
What I see is this, bros. Tank destroyed everything at 130. Tank moved to 135 and he fought Gamboa, right? Gamboa was injured, and Gamboa gave him hell in 12 rounds. So that tells me that power didn't translate too well at 35. I doubt that power translates. I doubt that power translates to 40. Tank is too short.
Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something. In the fight business, these fighters are talking. According to other fighters, they say the Tank's got real power. And
Shelton, wait a minute. How long is he gonna be on the phone?
A lot of background.
You gotta pick it up and do it upside down. I was trying to turn it. It's this candle that kind of relaxes.
Are you talking to us or somebody else, bro?
I was trying.
No. Let me finish.
That's on his phone. You talking to? I think he's talking to his wife. So I think he's speaking to his wife.
Yeah. So that power didn't translate.
Then he got a wife.
35. Yeah, I got a wife, nigga.
Yeah, he got a wife.
Who said it, dude?
Yeah, he got a wife.
He got a wife.
So this nigga crazy. What the fuck he talking about? Anyway, like I said, man, that power didn't translate too well to 35, in my opinion. Now you got a dude who's natural 40 pounder, who been up there for 5-6 fights, who's 25 years old, who's undefeated, who can crack. He got, in his last 10 fights, he got 9 knockouts. And you gonna tell me you gonna bring this 30 pounder up to my division because you think I'm weak and you gonna take my strap. I'm telling y'all, at 5'5.5", this dude's 5'11", he's just 5'11", he's bigger. I don't think that power is gonna translate. And I don't think Tank can overcome the 6-inch height advantage and the 7-inch reach advantage. I think this guy gonna keep Tank on the end of them punches,
catch him with the overhand right, and he stops Tank anywhere between 9 and 11 rounds.
All right, I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think that fighters know fighters, and I think that Tank's power has already translated up to the heavier weight divisions, according to the fighters, his peers of the fight game. They all say Tank has that power for a bigger weight class. It's just that his body won't give him the biggest. You know, his body may not let him get past 140, but his power definitely exceeds 140. And all the fighters said, don't discount his boxing ability. He's a hell of a boxer, and he only uses it when he needs to. And that we got to understand. Tank, don't forget that he's not just a puncher. He's also a boxer. He's a thinking fighter, and he's got a hell of a chin. And we're gonna see some action. Just because he's a little midget, sometimes midgets, you know, he's an overgrown midget, rather. Sometimes
they've been telling me.
They've been telling me.
They've been telling me about Tank's boxing skills for 5 years. I ain't never seen him.
I've seen him. I've seen him.
I ain't never seen him.
I've seen that. I've seen some of his subtle boxing skills. He got little subtle skills, that I see, you know, that he employs in the ring. But you know, he, like I said, that he's short. You know, being short don't mean nothing. Shit, Aaron Pryor was short, and y'all already know what he was and shit. Aaron Pryor was only 5'6". He was only 5'6".
Mike Tyson was one of the guys he faced.
Hey, but Puge, let me make this very clear for you, for Santos, for Deuce, and everybody in the chat. Tank is not Aaron Pryor.
No, of course, nobody ain't. No, nobody not.
Let's not do that.
Nobody not.
You right about that.
Tank is not. Tank is nowhere near. Look, Santos, I don't care what you're saying. Tank is nowhere near Aaron Pryor.
But you got to remember. Aaron Pryor is a part of. Aaron Pryor was a part of the U.S. boxing team from the 70s. From the 70s, and all those guys was very good boxers. All those guys, because you got to remember. Most of those guys that competed from the AAU, the Golden Glove, most of those guys was all very good boxers, because they, especially the ones who participated on the Olympic team, they all had very good boxing skills with the lateral movement, the jab. They all could move well.
Back then. You couldn't get in there without knowing how to box back then.
Because shit from all of, you know, you had Thomas Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard, Howard Davis, Bill McKenzie, all them guys.
I thought Santos was trying to compare the two. I'm like, come on, Santos. I know
what I was trying to tell you, you're right. Him and Aaron Pryor aren't the same, because Aaron didn't have the power that Tank had, but he had the skill. He didn't have the power though. But when you got a guy that's got the skills and the power, that's a problem.
Yeah, so
you gonna be sitting right next to me.
Hey, real quick,
I'll be in your face when he's laid out.
And next week when we get on the show, man, I'm gonna let you go and talk about it.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah,
let me go before y'all.
I'm gonna let you give a recap.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm about to dip out. It's my birthday right now. I'm about to dip out. It was good talking with y'all.
Happy birthday, bro.
It's your birthday, man.
Happy birthday, Deuce. What you gonna do, man? What you gonna do?
Happy birthday, bro.
Shit, see another one.
Got to do,
Nothing. Just happy to see another one, man. I'm a grown up.
Oh wow.
Anyway, brother. How old are you, Deuce?
37.
Good job. You made it. Hey, but look, man. Thursday, man. You gotta get that win. Gotta get that win, baby. Thursday.
First order of business.
No doubt.
So you know what I mean. I wanted to win for my birthday. That's all I really wanted. But you know, maybe I'll get it after.
All right, man.
But it's your birthday week. All right, man.
Yeah. All right,
enjoy
man.
yourself.
Be careful. Yeah,
you too, brother. See you tomorrow.
Hey, we appreciate you coming out, man.
All right, man.
No doubt.
Let's chop it up.
Yeah, one. Yeah, it's interesting fight. Like, Tank. Like I said, he definitely got some skills and ability. Now, in terms of him carrying his punch up, do you think it was so much? Because to me, sometimes I don't always look at it as just carrying your weight. Sometimes I always factor in the fighter and thinking from a fighter's perspective, that especially a good fighter, a good fighter are gonna always have pride in what they do. You understand what I'm saying? And like, I don't look at it so much. I know everybody expected Tank to blow out Gamboa. I didn't. Gamboa was a fucking. I really didn't, because Gamboa was an Olympic gold medalist, yo. When you achieve something like that, you're not a regular boxer, man. You understand? And when he came,
Division II when he was coming up.
Yeah, and when he came in, let's think about it. He was Terrence Crawford's toughest fight, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
Had he been bigger, taller, he would have beat Terrence Crawford. You understand what I'm saying? I could have seen him beating Terrence with his same style. Had he was bigger, I really felt part of the reason, Terrence Crawford is a very skilled fighter. But part of the reason why he was able to do what he was doing, that was just simply a case of a good big man beating a good smaller guy, which is 90% of the time what's going to happen. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, I didn't expect that he was just gonna go in there and blow him out like that. So when I was hearing people saying that shit, I'm like, damn, like. Sometimes when I be hearing some of this stuff, sometimes I be thinking like, damn, maybe either I'm losing my boxing IQ, or these motherfuckers just don't know what they talking about at all. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It's either one of the two. Either I'm really losing my boxing IQ, in these 2000s, these 220s, shit like really changed. Like it was some kind of paradigm shift in the Twilight Zone or some shit, and I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about no more. You know, instead of saying, or it's either one of the two things sometimes. So I'm like, nah, the same thing. Like it's just like the same thing when he fought Devin Haney. Like everybody was getting on Devin. I'm like, Devin gave an excellent performance, but I'm like, yo, I had just put that in on a post. I think it was another one of these blue blood shit, because he be having the craziest motherfuckers ever under his post, saying the wildest shit ever, man. And I was like, yo, and I be saying, yo, I'm like everybody was talking about, but like he didn't about Charlo didn't do well because he didn't knock the dude out. He's put a blow the dude out. I'm like, matter of fact, you know exactly what it was? It was a post with Teddy Atlas was talking some junk about Charlo's performance, which I can't stand him. I never could. And I know him personally.
Racist piece of shit.
And I never liked him. You understand what I'm saying? I met him in 1980, was it 1 or 2, when we was in the JOs. That's when I met Mike. When I met Mike Tyson, that's when I met him. So I never liked him then. But so the shit he was talking was crazy. But I was like, y'all, I said, you do understand it takes two to fight, and the other fighter does have to say so in what goes on in there. You understand what I'm saying? Contrary to popular belief, so y'all acting like you're just gonna blow him out. And like I said, you look at I always look at the intangibles of a fight, not just the part. That's one of the things I always first look at in any fight is the intangibles, and that as well. And like I told y'all, I was telling you, Santos, about that kid and the family he come from as a fighter. Like he was, this is in something that he's been doing since he was young. It's in his blood. This is their family business too. And he got an uncle who was a champion, not once but 3 times. So he had the one loss to Jaime Munguia. Even though I know a lot of people don't like Munguia, I heard somebody say on Trash Show, "Oh, he's a bum." I'm like, he ain't no fucking bum. He ain't the best fighter in the world, but he ain't no damn bum. The kid undefeated. You undefeated for a reason.
Right.
Because even if you beating up 150 taxi drivers, you still was able to beat. Not one of them taxi drivers was able to beat your ass.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? That means that counts for something. So the kid has some ability. So, and like I said, all his victories is by knockout. I'm looking at that, and I saw some things that the kid did well, and I know he's being trained good because his family, like I said, his family is in the sport. His uncle was a damn good fighter, and like I said, his grandfather was a fighter. Got 50 years in the game. They know something. There's something to be said there, and I didn't think he was. And I didn't think he was going to get blown out. Now, I didn't think he was going to win, but I didn't think he was going to get blown out. Like, I was just hearing some people like, literally, he's going to get blown out and shit like that. I'm like, nah, man. This kid is. You have to factor that in when you're looking at fights like that.
On a certain level, it was a lack of knowledge about the kid. That's what a lot of people was going by. And then when you really check the kid out, he was a vital opponent.
Better than he was given credit for. That's all I'm saying.
I'm talking. He brought something to the table, and then when he got hurt, he acted like he didn't act like a bum. That's what they like to call him. He acted like a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
A person with experience. He wasn't trying to. He didn't come in there to lay down.
I watched the highlights. That's right, because I watched the highlights again tonight, And I saw when Charlo rocked him with that hook, and he staggered back to them ropes, and like his legs was, he had lost control of that. He staggered back, and when Charlo came into attack, he was throwing punches back.
Exactly. And Charlo had respect.
Yeah, he wasn't just defensive. He didn't just rope a dope. He throwing punches back, and I was like, and that's what I'm saying. So I factor that in. You know, it's some family legacy there, and his family with the boxing thing, and the fact that they actually had a champion that was produced from that group of fighters. So I looked at that shit.
And Charlo say whatever he want. That kid got him a couple of times. That's why he didn't just go in there charging, throwing everything, including the kitchen sink, because he knew that kid had earned his respect. As far as, you know, don't just come up in here thinking ain't gonna be no fight, because I'm gonna give you just as much you give me. So
it's funny you say that, because I thought about something Shelton said last night. Like, and when I was watching those highlights again, I saw, he stunned Charlo with a nice combination. I saw that shit. I was like, he stunned him. Because when I was watching the fight live, I was talking to my son at the same time, so I kind of missed that a little bit. But now I looked at it again, and I was like, Shelton was right. He did stun his. Like, that might have been one of these other guys, Benavidez, one of these other dudes. He might have been in for something. But I was like, the kids they made him freeze up in his tracks for a little second. He had to readjust. And I was like, okay. So
that's why I said what I said last night.
Yeah. I saw it when highlights again.
Because if that's Benavidez, you might be in trouble, my guy.
But I would like to think, though, I would like to think, man, when you a fighter and you go have fights like that, you're supposed to learn. You're supposed to learn from those fights. You should come out of those fights like that a better boxer. Simply put, like, you're supposed to learn from that. Like, having a tough fight should make you a better fighter. A tough fight or a loss. Now, easy wins don't make you a better fighter, because you ain't gonna feel like you need to improve on shit. You're gonna keep doing the same stuff until somebody come in there and show you that shit ain't gonna work against them, and then you're gonna lose, and then you got to go back and look at the tape and study everything all over again. But tough fights and losses will make you a better fighter, and that fight, he should come out of that a better fighter, because he can see what do I need to improve on. You know, you watch those fights, because that's what I would have any one of my fighters do. I was like, you're going to watch this fight. We're going to see what you need to improve on. You understand what I'm saying? Don't just take it as, I got past that shit, and I ain't going to look at the fight, and then I'm going to go on. Nah, you got to find, because your opponents are going to use that fight to see what you messed up at and what you don't do well, and they're going to use it against you, you know, as they should. So I think he should come away a better fighter, you know, especially when you have a tough fight. I think more so now in boxing than ever before, since these guys don't fight a lot. Because they don't fight a lot like back in the days when we was growing up.
Right.
You know, guys don't fight as regularly as they did back then. So you could learn.
Hey, Puge, I was telling somebody the other day, right? I sent somebody a fight. It was Arguello and Ray Mancini, right?
Oh yeah, that's classic. I got that on DVD.
Yeah, so I told the motherfucker, just look at the record. Ray Mancini was 24 years old, and he was 20-0 with 15 knockouts.
Yeah.
Alexis Arguello was 28 years old. You know what his record was?
I think he was 70. He was either 74, and let me see. He was like 74-4 or 78-4. So between 74 and 78-4.
He was 71.
Yeah, I knew something. Yeah, I knew it was something.
58 knockouts at 28
years old. Yeah, they fought a lot, man. Especially in Latin. Yeah,
they
fought a lot.
So what you're saying is definitely true. That's why they were so good, because they had so much practice at it.
That's right. They fought a lot, and they really knew they trade. Like, and these guys boxing, they don't fight as much, because we had this discussion before about the money. Because the money is so much now, they don't fight as much. You don't have to fight as much to start making money the way that you would have done back then. And especially particularly with the Latin fighters, you know, they start young, you know, in their teens, between 14 and 16. So you had a lot of those guys. You remember what's his name? What's my man name? Ramirez. You remember Ramirez? He fought Hector Camacho and Evan Rosario.
Yeah.
You remember him? You remember he fought Alexis. He fought Alexis Arguello. Remember that motherfucker had like 100 fight. I mean, he was like 101 and 104 or some shit like that.
4 or some shit like that, yeah.
You remember? And they was young. They was like like he said, they was like 28, 29, shit like that. Even what's his name?
Pedrosa.
Yes. Mama, you
Julio
said
Pedrosa.
Shit, remember?
85-3. Shit like that.
Shit, you remember? Nah, you remember who else had a lot of fights that we used to watch? White boy. Remember Sean O'Grady?
Sean O'Grady.
Sean O'Grady was like 80. Sean O'Grady had like 80 fucking wins.
Yeah.
Sean O'Grady fought a lot of. Yeah.
Yeah, you know your shit, because Sean O'Grady, that's a name I ain't heard in about 20 years.
Yeah, man, I forgot all about Sean. That was Mr. USA Today. USA Tuesday night fight.
Tuesday night fights, yeah. Sean O'Grady became the host on that shit, but Sean O'Grady was the lightweight champion.
Remember his daddy got mad because he started that organization. What was it?
Yeah.
The
WBU, some shit he started. Like yeah, because he was mad because of what happened when he was the WBA champion. Because you remember, Sean O'Grady upset Hilmer Kinty.
Hilmer Kinty, exactly.
He beat Hilmer Kinty.
Just outworked him.
Yeah, he beat Hilmer Kinty, who was an excellent boxer. But he beat Hilmer Kinty from the Kronk, because Hilmer Kinty was the first champion from Kronk.
Yeah, because remember Sean O'Grady's biggest problem is he's a bleeder. He used to bleed.
Yeah, he used to get cut easily. Yeah, he used to get cut. That was his thing. But yeah, he had a lot of fights.
Dude, though, man.
Yeah. He was tough. He was tough boy. He was tough boy. He just, if he didn't have that problem with the bleeding, he was a problem, because he could punch a little bit. He had good basic boxing skills, but he could crack a little bit. Yeah. Particularly with the left hook. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those guys and that's the difference, So I think since now you don't fight as much, I think it can be more of a benefit when you do have a little bit of a tougher fight in between trying to get these big fights. But in between getting these big fights, like he trying to get with either Canelo or Boo Boo Andre or Benavidez or any one of them. Trying to get any one of the fights. I think those kind of fights will help any fighter in this era of boxing, since they just. But
this is what I think, bro. Now this is my life. This is where I draw the line in the sand right here. You didn't have your fight with Montiel. The only person on your radar right now should be Andrade.
I agree.
Triple G got a fight in December. He's trying to unify Andrade. Should be your focus. Because you can't fight no more.
That's easy.
You can't fight no more guys. You hear what I'm saying? You can't fight no more guys. You got to fight somebody.
I agree.
But he don't have any mandatories to worry about, right? He don't have any mandatories to worry about, do he?
I wouldn't give a shit if he did.
I don't think so.
Unification trumps mandatory. Unification trumps mandatory.
Yeah, but I'm just saying what I'm saying, the reason I'm asking that, because he can't use that as an excuse.
As an excuse.
Yeah, he can't use that as an excuse. So
he'll
at
use
the
that
same
as an
time,
excuse.
Well, from what I've seen, fellas, Jamal Charlo will use anything as an excuse. COVID,
that's what I'm saying.
25, fight him first, all kind of weenie shit. He'll do all that.
Yeah, he'll use that as an excuse. So, but yeah, I agree. He should be fighting Andre, because that's really the only person there that he could make a fight that would be of any substance that the fans would really want to see at that weight. Because y'all can check that fucking Triple G off your list. That shit ain't happening. Forget that. So you might well make that, just erase that shit like it don't even exist. Because he's not fighting Triple G is not gonna fight him. So you can forget that shit. Triple G trying to fight Triple G trying to fight Canelo. He trying to fight Triple G trying to fight Canelo again. That's it. That's all he really want to do. And I want that shit and probably retire.
The easiest fight out there for my man is Andrade. Because Munguia ain't trying to fight him right now. And Triple G definitely ain't trying to fight him.
But Munguia might end up being the one though.
Yeah, but he ain't trying to, because he won't fight Gabe Rosado and Rosado don't even have a belt.
Right, he turned that fight down?
No, he called out Rosado after the fight.
He called out Rosado after the fight. And I'm thinking they put something in his head about that. That's what I'm thinking. Oscar did.
About fighting Rosado.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah, I
believe.
watched
I
that.
don't know that to be
Yeah, that
right.
knockout Rosado had was sweet, boy.
Yes, sir.
He
That shit
set
was
that
sweet
kid
because
up. Let me ask you
that
this,
kid was
Fuse. Let me ask you
that kid
this.
was
Let
punching
me ask you
hard.
this.
That boy was punching hard body shots. That Russian, whatever the hell he was, throwing some
Yeah.
hard body shots, and he timed that shit perfect. Boom.
Let me ask you this.
Beautiful.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. How stupid was the matchmaker to put a 7-fight fighter in the ring with Gabriel Rosado?
Now, good point, because I heard you bring that up the other day. Now, back in the days, he would have been an imbecile, but not in today's boxing.
Yeah, well, not with the fast tracking going on.
See, coach, you gotta remember. See, you thinking like us from back in the day. You thinking with our mind, true school boxing. That's why you sticking with that mind. Yeah, back in the day, hell no. But this era of boxing, it's not really as stupid as it sounds. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do nowadays, especially with those fighters from the Eastern Bloc nations. They do that with them. You know, they throw them in like that. Probably prime example. You got Lomachenko where he at. It's a lot of those guys that they do that with now. You understand? And you gotta remember. Now we know Gabe Rosado is a solid pro and they're tough,
Right.
what's his name brung up. He ready to fight anytime. You know, he a true old school boxer. Like, you know,
Yeah, he
Gabe
gonna answer the
Rosado is like
phone. Gabe gonna answer the phone.
he that true school, old school Philadelphia fighter for real. And people sometimes could be deceived because you're gonna see a lot of losses on his record. He's better than his record looks though.
Exactly.
But he's not necessarily
Fuse.
the elite, but he's very good.
Emmanuel
Very good.
Augustus, right? Emmanuel Augustus, remember him?
Yes. Hell
Way better than his record said.
Emmanuel Burton, aka Emmanuel Augustus. Hell yeah. He gave Floyd one of his toughest Floyd, that was one of his toughest fights his career. He had Floyd leaking in that fight. You know, my man was the drunken master in the ring. The drunken master of boxing.
It was hard for Floyd to figure him out too.
Hell yeah, he was the drunken master of boxing in that ring, man. You know, one of them fights he had with Ward. When that fight he had with Ward, oh man, that should be classic. You know?
Oh man, come on now.
Mickey Ward, yeah, him and
Mickey Ward.
Yeah, remember he fought Irish Mickey Ward. Yeah, so yeah, I understand what you're saying from the traditional perspective. Yeah, it was kind of crazy, but this is what they doing now.
Based on boxing 101.
Yeah,
put them in there,
but this is what they're doing now. They're doing this a lot. They're going to do that a lot more now. The way the game is set up now, you know. And I can't front though. The Duke was going for his. He was bringing it to Gabe. Like Gabe had to use all his skill.
Oh, yeah.
He had to use all his ability and all his skill to withstand that shit. And you see, he went down one time from that shit. See, if he was a less experienced fighter, he'd have lost. But because he been in there with every goddamn body, he done fought every style basically in that division. He done been in with pretty much every style, and the elites of the middleweight to super middleweight division, he took that knee, regrouped, and did that. A younger fighter, he would have stopped for sure from that pressure, because he was throwing some hard body shots, man. Hard body shots. He had that kind of awkward style. He was kind of awkward too. His style was kind of awkward too.
I like what Rosado said. He said, "Look, the guy hit me in the first round with a vicious body shot. Had to take a knee and regroup."
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that shit was out. Them body shots was hard. I was feeling them shits through the TV. I was like, shit, you know. So I understood that, but that's only because he got that experience and he a tough dude. He experienced and he a tough, real. He the old school. Rosado remind me of the old school terminology, the prize fighter. Like I'm for the prize fighter, man. You know what I'm saying? You calling me for a fight to get this bread? Okay, I'm with it. You know, he the old school prize fighter. So, but the kid was tough in that sense. But I can understand they probably they're thinking, because you're looking at his record, and thinking what you're thinking. But you also got to look at the fact that shit, he was very competitive because a lot of people, and Danny Jacobs, that's my little bro right there. He from the gym I was training out of most recently. You know, I know Danny and him since they was little. But shit, he really beat Danny in that shit. You know?
Mm-hmm. Hey, peep this. Did either one of you guys catch Coach Cunningham's interview last night on the boxing? I mean, on the
Yeah,
boxing
I watched some of it. I watched the majority of it.
You catch the Shelton? Shelton there.
I think Shelton fell
He
off.
jumped out.
I think he fell off.
Hey, he
I
was
think
saying the
his
same.
wife was talking to him earlier.
Hey, Coach Cunningham was saying the same thing I was saying last night about Ennis and Ortiz. You know, when they would ask him if he think
I missed
Ennis,
that part. I missed that.
Yeah,
I missed that part.
They would ask him face the likes of Earl Spence and Crawford right now. He said, nah, they don't need to put him in there like that. His folks don't need to do that. He said, now him and Ortiz head up would be good, but they probably won't do it because of the money. He said, but they don't need to be even thinking about fighting Earl or Terrence right now in their career. And he didn't have a dog in that fight. He was basically saying, what I was saying is they don't have the experience, even though they record speak a certain thing. They don't really have the experience for those guys. Now Terrence, Earl's record is not much greater. They're real similar to him, and his numbers are similar, but that's just numbers. That doesn't mean the quality of opponents are similar. And that's what I was trying to tell guys. Whenever that conversation came up a few weeks ago and last week, and whenever it comes up now, there's a bigger difference of level of competition that they both have experienced at this point in time in their career. So Earl's got the greatest out of the four of them, out of Terrence. And Terrence is my guy. But out of Terrence, Earl, Ennis, and Ortiz, Earl has the best welterweight experience as far as competition. These other guys, the next person I'm gonna give it to is Terrence. And then now as far as overall experience in fighting, I got to go with Terrence. But just in the welterweight division, I got to go with Earl on that. And then Terrence. And those other two young men, they just have to, wait their turn. Plus, they're in a different grade level, in my opinion. I'm looking at, sophomores compared to seniors in high school. That's the way I'm looking at it. But it's it's just one of those situations, man. You don't need to rush too quick. Just because you still a little excitement in a fighter doesn't always mean it's gonna work out. For a prime example, remember that kid? Not Miller. Well, it was a kid. He was fighting. I forget he was fighting. I forget if he was a Showtime or HBO fighter. I think he was a Showtime fighter. He was a Showtime fighter, and he was a hard-nosed fighter. Looked like he was like the perfect little well-oiled machine. I can't think of his name though. But his mama used to be at all his fights, man. And he was fighting, man. He was knocking cats out, man, and beating them, just outboxing them and everything. And he seemed so poised. And then they put him in with a real grown man. The white guy, I forget his name. He had a handlebar type mustache and a bald head. They put him in the ring with him. That didn't go well for him. Then they put him in with this Russian-like dude. It's like Mike Tyson. He come in the ring like Mike Tyson with the black shoes and the no-show socks on.
Oh, what's the kid name?
Yeah,
what's his name? I forgot his name. Young brother. They had him on. Yeah.
But he ran into some real men.
I can see his face clear as day. I just can't think of his name right now.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to think of what was the weight division?
He was
54 or was it 60?
I think he was 54.
I think it was 54 too, because Lubin was coming up around that same time. They both were PPC fighters, if I ain't mistaken.
I know the kid you're thinking of. I know the kid you're talking about. I just can't think of his name right now.
We ain't heard nothing from him since that second loss either.
Yeah.
So he lost the first time to the white guy with the handlebar mustache.
Mm-hmm.
And since that Russian or whatever that European was, he came in there with that Mike Tyson style, man. We ain't heard nothing from that kid since, man.
And
Nothing.
yeah, he beat him that day. That kid,
I can't
hell
think
is
of his
his
name for
name?
nothing,
Oh man, yeah, I remember his mom used to come to the fights.
man. Yeah. I won't think his name was Darius or something like it. Something Darius or something. I can't
Something along that
remember.
line. Yeah, but I agree with you. I agree with you in that sense. Like, although, let's say somebody like Boots got, Boots is 27-0 right now, right?
Yeah.
So he like 27-0. But you're right. It's not just, even though him and Errol is close in number, it's the level of competition and the quality of opposition that separates them at this point. It's a difference. It's just like, now you may see, it's like when we go back in the days, and you may have seen somebody like when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Wilfred Benitez for the title.
Yeah.
Now, even though Wilfred Benitez had been a 2-time champion at that point at the age of 20, and he was actually younger than Leonard at the time. He was younger by a couple of years than Ray Leonard was. You know, he had been the junior welterweight and then had won the welterweight championship at that point. And he was undefeated, decent resume. He had decent resume at both, because he had beat the legendary Kid Pambele, Antonio Cervantes, who later Aaron Pryor won that same junior welterweight title from, because he reclaimed it after Benitez moved up. He had beat him, so Antonio Cervantes was a Hall of Fame boxer, and he had beat another good fighter. Benitez had beat Bruce Curry, who was a tough fighter, good tough dude from both the amateur and the pro, which is Donald Curry's older brother. He had beat Carlos Palomino to win the welterweight title, which was an impressive win, because Carlos Palomino had some respect at that time, so it was a big thing, and he had beat a couple of other good fighters. But at that time, still, I forget who was the favorite in that fight. I forget who was the favorite in that fight, Leonard or Benitez. But at that time, I think Benitez might have been a slight favorite in that fight. But still, Ray Leonard, if you looked at Ray Leonard's record at welterweight and the guys he had defeated, he had beat some solid welterweights.
Yeah.
At that time, he had beat some solid welterweights. And then you remember Ray Leonard had took that fight. Angelo Dundee set that fight up with him against that big ass middleweight, that tall ass middleweight guy. What was my man's name? He gave Marvin Hagler a tough ass fight too. He went the distance with Hagler. What's my man's name? I got this shit because I got the Sugar Ray Leonard collection. That's one of my favorite fights to watch. He gave Ray hell that fight, man, because he was so big. Sugar Ray came in about 153 for that fight. And he came in 160. Like, he came in like 159 or 160 and shit. Leonard came in 153 in that fight.
I'm sure I've seen. I just can't place it right now. But
what's his name? Carlo? Whoa. I just had his name at the tip of my tongue. But what I'm saying is that Leonard had fought good competition at welterweight. And you got to remember, Leonard had beat Pete Ranzani, who was tough. Who was a tough welterweight. He beat Shields, the white guy Shields, who also went the distance. He had also went the distance with Thomas Hearns. No, I think Hearns stopped him. I think Hearns ended up stopping him in the 13th round.
Shields.
But it was a tough fight, Shields. But he gave Leonard a tough fight. Gave Hearns a tough fight too. So he had fought some good opposition. So when he went into that fight, at that time, I remember thinking, I was young, but I remember thinking a lot of people was like that Benitez had so much more experience than him. I really didn't feel like that at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Leonard was prepared well for that. And the fact that Leonard was an Olympian, shit, you can't fight on a bigger stage than that shit.
Exactly.
You can't fight on a bigger stage than that. And I think that, and I always felt that when I look at that fight now, when I watch that fight now, to me, Benitez looked a little overwhelmed.
Yeah.
When I watch that fight now, when I watch it now, I'm like, he was a little overwhelmed. I think he was a little bit overwhelmed because Sugar Ray Leonard was a big star from the Olympic team and stuff.
Right.
And even though he had those championship fights, Benitez, that was still the biggest. That was still the biggest thing.
Fight. Yeah, exactly.
that he had ever been in. Because you remember that fight was the first. I think that was the first little fight that had they got a guarantee. They had got over $1 million guaranteed purse, both of them, Leonard and
I
Benitez.
didn't remember what the purse was working.
Yeah, it was over $1 million. It was the first. That fight was the first fight. That fight, they both made over $1 million in that fight.
Okay.
Both Leonard and him. Both Leonard and him.
Now let me ask you something. Do I remember? Does my memory serve me right? Did Benitez was he hollering at one at Sugar Ray's sister or something?
Yeah, they dated for a little while. They dated for a little while.
I thought I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah,
They said they know each other because they know each other better than people realize because he was dating Leonard's sister.
Yeah, he ended up dating his sister for a while.
And they
a little while
had a
after
lot of
that.
respect for each other, but
Leonard to this day
still
says.
planning to beat each other.
Yeah, Leonard to this day says that was one of his toughest matches because he said it felt like he was fighting himself. Like the guy reflexes was just so,
so
tough and so elusive, and he was hard, to really hit, which he was.
Before Leonard got up through there, Benitez was the man in that weight division, man.
He might have been.
Man, he was all that.
Had not, but shit, that was just a classic era of fighters too, because shit, you had at welterweight, you had Leonard, Hearns, Benitez, and then remember before he got knocked off, you said Pepino Cuevas, hard hitting ass until Hearns destroyed him and ruined him. You had Carlos Palomino. It was a lot of good welterweights then. Then when Duran moved up, you added him into the mix as well. Right. That was some stiff competition, man. At that welterweight division then.
Real fighters back then, man.
Shit, that was some stiff. And then we're not even talking about like the contenders, because you had the regular contenders you had to get by. It was like Pete Ranzani. What's the Southpaw kid that Sugar Ray fought? Sugar Ray destroyed him. Sugar Ray stopped him on shit on ABC. I got it in my collection. Tough Southpaw guy, because he ended up fighting Benitez too. Sugar Ray had him. Because I know Angelo Dundee had worked with that guy too before. Damn, I can see his fucking face clear as day. But he beat some stiff that guy was actually a junior middleweight too. Sugar Ray had moved up. Because what they did, what Angelo Dundee would do was, because Angelo Dundee, when Leonard hired Angelo Dundee, basically Angelo Dundee is who he used to get his fights. Because Angelo Dundee knew everybody. Because you remember him and his brother Chris Dundee had the promotion down in Florida. So they threw a lot of fights through from the 60s up to that point. So shit, he was very well, Angelo Dundee been around since Sugar Ray Robinson. You remember Angelo Dundee worked with Carmen Basilio and shit like that. So he knew, like, when Angelo Dundee was the quintessential fight manager in a traditional sense, in this sense that he knew fighters and who they styles and what they did and what they could do. So that's why Leonard brought him in to pick his fights. You should fight this guy. Because this guy, he's ranked here. He has this style. And this is why we take him on. Like, he was good at that. Picking who to fight. That's why Leonard had hired him to do that. So he had worked with that guy that I'm thinking of before, but he worked Leonard corner in that fight. Shit, I bet you as soon as I get off this shit, his name gonna pop right in my head.
I was reading when you were talking, but yeah, that I was reading the chat. I see Sheldon in the chat. I don't know if he can't get in or not. I don't know if Cam will wait.
Cause I don't know if Cam is on it. But yeah, man. As far as these new fights, man, I like to see it. It would be great if they would all fight, but the game is different, man. Right, they don't do totally the game is different. So that's just what it is. Like, we get lucky, we'll see them fights, they'll come together, but the game is real different. And so we're not going to necessarily get these fights the way that we would have got years ago. As much as we might want to say it, but the game is a lot different, man.
Yeah. To me, everybody want to be prima donnas, man. A lot of these fighters, they're gonna They want to treat it like it's Burke. They want to have everything their way. And I just,
Yeah, there you go.
it's
Somebody
like,
put his name in the chat. Yeah, Tony Shiverini. There you go. Shiverini. That was his name.
Tony who?
Tony Shiverini. That was his name. Yeah. That's the kid. Somebody put it, my man Boxing Truth Serum. He put it in there. Tony Shiverini. Yep. That's what I was talking about. Because he worked with Angelo Dundee, had worked with him too. That's exactly the guy I'm talking about. Leonard Ford of Southpaw. Yep. Yep. So that's what it is, hopefully we get these fights, man. But like I said, it's a lot of money. Because if you look at the sport now as compared to how it was when we came up and watching, like you got these guys, they champions, man. They million, like Charlo and them was already millionaires, man.
Yeah.
They millionaires now. Look as great as Marvin Hagler was. Marvin Hagler was good as he was. He didn't get that money until after he didn't start making that money until after he won the championship and made a couple of defenses, man.
Mm-hmm.
These guys,
that's right.
They have fought nowhere near that level of competition in comparison, but they're already millionaires.
Right. That's true.
They can retire. They can really retire right now and go off and do the shit in their life. So it's just a different game.
It is,
money,
man.
Like I said that before, like what changed boxing was the money. When that money went up and that shit went off of free TV and HBO came in, HBO was it was a blessing and a curse. HBO. It was a blessing and a curse. It was a blessing in that their budget was purely for boxing and not like the regular networks that were showing all that other shit that boxing people don't care about. But it also changed the game because they had a budget just for boxing, and they started putting more and more into that, and that money just been going higher and higher and higher over these past 40 years, and it changed the sport because you just don't have to fight as much to get to that point if you're good. You don't have to because you got these guys becoming faster.
I think PBC put a hurting on HBO also when they left them and went strictly with Showtime in the beginning. I think they put a hurting on HBO, and HBO they wanted to paint the narrative for the fighters that they like more than what the real deal was on most fighters. Who was better, who's not. Because HBO had a lot to do with black fighters not getting their just due a lot of times. Now when they first come in the fight game years and years ago, when Larry Merchant was young, I didn't see it that way as much. I thought maybe they were a little bit more fair about, passing judgment about a certain fighter, but it seemed like as time progressed, they got more and more about who they saw as their favorite fighter, and giving them, more kudos than what they've earned. But this truck don't stop in the middle of the road, man. Good gracious. Unless he's moving real slow. Yeah, I'm straight. He might be moving real slow. That's what it is. He's moving real slow.
Yeah, but HBO, yeah, you're right. They was like that, but the reason why they was like that in the beginning because they was a new company.
Yeah,
they was new. So when they really stepped up heavy in the boxing game, yeah, they was new. But once they got that power position, like most things in life or most people and companies, once they get the power, they change.
They start showing their true colors.
Yeah, they change. That's all. That's all it was. Once they get that power.
Yep, that's exactly right. Hey man, what do you think of the winner of this Tank and Barrios fight? Whoever wins, what is their next move? Who do they fight next?
Well, Barrios, if Barrios was to actually pull that shit off, that's going to be a tremendous win for him.
Yeah.
Tank is a little star. Tank is a star, is a little star on the rise.
That's going to uplift Barrios big time.
That's going to uplift him big time. And then
I don't think he could, Taylor can avoid him at that point because
exactly
it's a high profile at that. Yeah, the awareness of both those fighters out there. They both got, you know, similar. They're similar in height. It'll probably be a pretty good competition there.
Yes,
But
that's what I was just about to say. I was about to say the same thing. He couldn't avoid him then. If he actually able to pull, if he's actually able to pull that off. Now, Tank, on the other hand, I
think a little different. He's the money man anyway, and if he might have to go through some other guys before he gets to Taylor.
Yeah.
Since he's just not going to 140, but you know what? For the money, Taylor them might take that fight, man. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, that'll be a big fight monetarily. Yeah, it'd be a big fight, man. It could be a big fight if he gonna.
Yeah, because Taylor's a hell of a draw, and I'm gonna tell you something. That fight will happen 9 out of 10 when the UK opens up, and they'll travel. You know, those UK fans will travel over here to see Taylor fight.
Absolutely, hell yeah, they will definitely travel to see. But that could be a big fight, man. It could be a very, very huge fight if that should happen. But I don't know, like if Tank win, I still think he got some good fights though at 135 though. You know, I don't know if he's gonna be willing to go back down, but I still think it's some really good fights there.
Yeah. He can have some good fights at 140 too.
Unless they can have that's true.
I think they playing a chess move, man. He beat Barrios. They gonna wait for them guys to come up from 135 to fight Tank. That's what it took. Come up from 135 to 140, and they want to hold the A side at that point. That's what I'm thinking. Because he's already he's the biggest draw out of all those cats. As far as 135, 130, he's the biggest draw out of all of them. And actually, he's the biggest draw between 135 and 140. Because I can't think of another fighter at 140 that draws more than Tank. Because Taylor, even though he's undisputed, he doesn't draw as many as Tank would. Not in the States.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Yeah, I was about to say not in the States, but maybe overseas though.
Yeah.
Because they're very loyal to their fighters in those other countries.
Very much so. Yeah, the way it should be over here.
They're very loyal. But see, it's a little, like I always say, it's a little different because you have to, when you're comparing it between the United States and over there.
A smaller network of people there. A smaller community of people, and then the boxing is one of their biggest sports.
That's it.
Over here, football, basketball, baseball,
right. And it'll never compare. You can't compare it because you got too many sports here in America. See, over there, the two biggest sports is you got boxing and soccer. But in America, you got baseball, football, basketball, hockey. And all of those sports got a big following, all those sports here in America. Right. You understand what I'm saying? So boxing has to share that as well. So that's what's always going to be the case, man. With those other countries, the big sports.
It ain't just one level of football. It's college and NFL that reigns supreme over here.
Shit, I ain't even. That's why I wasn't even thinking about it like that. I wasn't even thinking about it like that. Shit, that's college
football, basketball. Then you got professional ranks for both sports.
Yeah, so that's right.
We got a lot of. Right. We got a lot of competition over here. A
lot. It takes a lot more. It takes a lot more to become a star over here.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot more. It doesn't take as much to become a star over there as it does here. You know, you got to have certain things. You got to have certain things that's got to fall in place for you, right? You got to have the right team behind you and the right, the right charisma. You just got to have everything fall into place for you, man.
Yeah.
In order for you to become that truly that mega star. Because you can't here in America, it can't just be good enough that you're good at whatever you do.
Right.
You have to have another selling point outside of that as well, if you're going to transcend us to that star, to that star level. But over there, you don't got to do that. You just got to be great at what you do. In those other countries, like Mexico, Puerto Rico, over in Europe, you just got to be good at whatever you're doing. You'll become a mega star.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm looking forward to this Tank fight, man, because should be very, very, very interesting fight, man.
Yeah,
You
it's
know, I
gonna be
don't think
two interesting fights. That Lomachenko, Takanadi, that's gonna be an interesting fight.
Nakatani.
It doesn't have Nakatani. It doesn't have the same level of meaning, but it's still gonna be. It's kind of similar though. You know, as
Very
far as the
similar.
body structure
Yeah. Yeah,
of the
very
of the
similar.
of the of the fighters, but it doesn't have the same implications as far as what the accomplishments can be for one fight versus the other. Because I mean, those guys in the as far as that 135, Lomo and Takanani, they Takanani. How you say his name again?
Nakatani.
Hello, Nakatani. Yeah, Nakatani. They're fighting to see how that Bob is going to line them up for a title shot more than anything. But they're not. There's no belt on the line, anything like that. And in the 140 with Tank and this guy, it's not a major belt, but it is a belt that's on the line. And this right here could be. It's a step up in weight for one fighter versus the others. Then it's a matter depending on how well he does, if he's going to stay at 140, and if he does, who his next opponent is, things of that nature. So it's a little bit different implications, but at the same time, does he lose that oath and go back down to 130, 135, or whatever? So there's a lot of situations there.
Yeah, that's gonna. Like I said, I'm looking. That's the fight I'm really looking forward to. You know, I've never been a big Lomachenko fan anyway, so I don't care. And Nakatani, I don't really care much about him either. I watch him. It's boxing just because it's boxing, but that's why I say I don't really got no dog in the fight. I don't really like either one of them like that. I'm just gonna watch it just because it's boxing. But the fight I'm looking forward to seeing is that fight with Tank and Barrios. Cause that's a very good, two good young fighters, man, fighting early. You know that this era of boxing seems to avoid.
Right.
You know, you don't really get this. Like a lot of people is downplaying Barrios. I hear a lot of people, and I see some other platforms I've been on watching and shit. They downplaying Barrios, but Barrios is a damn good boxer, man. Very good fighter, and to have two good young talents fighting each other like that is really is good. You know.
Right.
You know, it's real. It's good to see, especially now. The way they get down now, the way they fight, the way the fight game is going on now. It's just like something DB was saying earlier. I kind of agree with him. I know where he was trying to go when he was talking to Fred earlier about, guys not getting their proper due for fighting certain individuals. And that's why a lot of fighters don't be wanting to take these fights, because it's like you damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
Right.
You know, it's like, I mean, because the money is higher on that level now, a lot of guys try to wait it out to get to the point they can fight for that money, as opposed to just fighting competition and making a name for yourself and getting people to really know you because of the opposition that you actually beat or been in the ring with. Because I understood his point when he was saying about the fact of that at least you in the ring fighting. Because on paper, a fight can say one thing, but shit, that's the reason why you had the fights. You know?
Right.
It's a terminology. It's upsets. Upsets do happen. You know? But it can only happen if motherfuckers get in the ring. They don't get in the ring, can't happen.
Can't happen at all.
Can't happen at all. So I understood the point he was making when he was saying about the Arthur Abraham thing and the fact that Eubanks fought him. Whether he was 37 or not. Yeah, so what? You know, it could happen. You know, every former champion could pull out that one good more fight out. Just that night. Something could motivate him just to pull out that shit he had in the past.
Right.
You get an upset. But it's only gonna happen if they fight, period. They don't fight, all that shit don't matter.
Right.
And then we don't get fights.
I didn't get to see the Chavez fight over the weekend, Chavez Sr. But I heard he did pretty good for a 60-year-old.
Yeah, I saw clips of it. I haven't seen the whole. I haven't had a chance to watch the whole thing yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to catch it on YouTube eventually.
He was boxing Camacho Jr., right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really get to see it. I saw the fight. I saw most of the fight with his son and Anderson Silva. Silva looked good, man. So
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Silva,
I heard that.
Silva
I
was
heard he
doing his
looked good.
thing, yo. Silva
Yeah.
was doing his thing.
I got to
You
see
know?
that fight. I've only seen clips where he was calling him over to it. He had went in the corner and was calling Chavez over.
Yeah.
And I hadn't seen much out the side of that. I need to see that fight too.
Yeah, he had some good movement. He was moving good on his legs. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he has, but you know, he had been boxing training for years before anyway. So it's not like he's not a true novice like that, but he got some skills, like, because he done did some boxing training for years. But you can see it. He looked decent, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's impressive that he was able to do what he did against somebody who was a real boxer for a long time.
Right.
Chavez just took a turn. I don't know what happened. I thought he was going to be better than he was, man. He just took a turn with them long ass layoffs,
He lost his love for it, in my opinion.
And he lost. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Yeah, and that's what I think, because him coming from that side of boxing where, because you know in Mexico they royalty in Mexico.
Right, and you know he started off his career, his first 30-something, first 40 fights he was fighting.
Yeah,
you know he was hard to beat. I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you, if he had been the same guy when he was in his first 40 as he was when he faced Canelo, it would have been a better fight. He didn't even try to fight. He didn't even try to fight Canelo back, man.
Absolutely.
He's just been doing a money grab ever since, you know, he got to the 40. Yeah. Off his name.
Off his name. Yeah.
That's it.
He lost that. I agree. He lost that desire because for at one time he was showing some real potential.
Yeah.
And
all he cared about is getting high and kicking it, man. That's it.
That was it. And he lost it. But he could have been a lot better than. But I guess it's always. I would imagine that would be tough, man. You following somebody as great as his father was, like that's always gotta be tough.
It's tough.
Man.
Yeah, it's tough.
To be living with that shit, especially when you're trying to do the same sport. You know, if you had somebody that was like pretty good or adequate, you can come like Floyd. You know, his father was good fighter, decent. His uncles was decent, like, you know, Jeff and his father. But then, you know, Roger was very good.
Yeah.
You know, Roger was very good. You know, 2-time champion, very good fighter.
Right.
So you can. That's something to shoot past. His father was okay.
Dad was good. He's a little bit better than okay. He was good, man. He couldn't stay out them streets.
Yeah, he was good.
Like
he was good. Like I said, he was good. He was good.
And I know you got that fight of him with Sugar Ray on video too.
Yeah, I got it. It's in my Sugar Ray Leonard collection.
Dad has some speed, and you can see a lot of Floyd. You know where Floyd gets attributes and stuff from, but he wasn't the Sugar Ray. You know, he was tough. Now he claimed his hand was hurt or something like that. Sugar Ray said, "Man, that ain't my fault. That was your fault." You know what I'm saying? Which he was right. But he always wanted to get Sugar Ray back in the ring, even since they've been older. And Sugar Ray said, "No, that ain't gonna happen."
He got you know, in that fight, I think he was 15-1 at the time. But he had the ability, but and talent. Really wasn't that much of a big puncher, but he's had the quick hands, which he still got to this damn day.
Right.
You know,
that was his main attribute: his quick hands, IQ for the ring. But his biggest downfall was them streets, man.
Yeah.
He just couldn't stay out of them, man.
Yeah, I remember when I was a teenager, and he came to New York, and that's actually when I first learned of him.
Hey, we might get cut off. We might get cut off in a minute, man. I'm about to hit that bad part of the highway.
Okay, but that's where I first learned of him. When I was a teenager, he came to New York, and I knew of Roger, but I hadn't known him. I learned of him then. Right. He upset. He came to New York and he beat this kid that was a prospect that they were developing at the Garden at the Folk Farm. This kid named Jose the Threat Barrett was knocking everybody out, and they brought Floyd in, I guess, to be another victory, another stepping stone on his list, and Floyd
Stepping
whipped
stone.
his ass. And Floyd whipped his ass, upset him. That was the end of his career. After that shit, he became a fucking bum. After that shit,
Yeah.
Floyd whipped his ass, and that was it. That's when I knew. From that point on, I knew about Floyd
I
Mayweather.
think Jeff won him a title, a little title 4 years
Yes,
ago.
yeah, he won like the USBA, like one of those junior titles. He won.
Yeah, I thought it was one of them
Yeah,
small.
yeah, he won like a junior title. He was solid, you know. But when you come from that, you can ascend like Floyd did. But when you got somebody great that was like really great, it's kind of hard to compete with that shit. You know.
He had another son that was having a good amateur career, was winning. They finally hooked up. I think his name was Justin, and he went out to Vegas for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
I saw them
he was decent. He probably won't gonna be Floyd, but I mean, it's amazing how those genes work, man.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even. The boy was winning before he knew who his dad was, and vice versa. Before Senior knew it was his son. So it was just
I saw the kid.
a quick situation. Now I think he tried to do a little battle rapping on the side or something. As far as Justin Mayweather.
Yeah.
He did a little battle rapping on the side.
Was some battle rapping?
How those genes, trickle on down, Yeah, I think he was doing a little battle rapping at 1 minute. I don't know what he's doing now. But he always had to make his own way. He said his brother never gave him anything. He always had to get it on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But he was cool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw him down there training at the money team. At the Mayweather boxing gym.
Yeah, he's training up there.
The other brother, I saw him doing down there trying to do his thing. And give it a shot. That's the family business.
You remember when Charlie T? Yeah, you remember when Steve went against Charlie T? YouTube.
Yeah. I remember it. Floyd was giving it to him too. But then he tried to do that dirty. Shit and cheat and hit him behind his back. And then Floyd's fighter got in the rings and they was whipping his ass. Those were Floyd's fighters.
Exactly. Put them things on.
The guy in there was whipping his ass. Tried to do that dirty shit. But Floyd was giving it to him though.
Yeah, he was.
Floyd was giving it to him.
Hey,
he didn't want none of that shit.
Fool climbed out of the ring. He didn't want no more.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't want no more. Floyd was putting it on him. He didn't want no more of that. Giving him the business, and then he gonna do that foul shit, and they jumped right in that ring and lit his ass up like they were supposed to. I like when Deontay Wilder whipped his ass. He was talking all that shit, and Deontay Wilder like it took his damn head off. Oh man, he went to that bad.